AI and in India. With he's having 2 years working experience in machine learning, deep learning, microcontrollers, and electronic systems. Not only that, but also he have won national level competitions in Bangladesh uh, with IoT and other embedded programming competitions. So without telling much, I'll hand over this session to Bappy. Bappy, over to you so you can conduct this session.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to this session. I think, am I audible to all of you? Can you please confirm from your side?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. And if some connection issues happen, okay, so I will join with my phone data. Okay, so you just stay here, okay, because it's on virtual meeting, so connection would be like main issue. Okay, so just try to consider. Yeah, so my name is Bapi Ahmed, and I'm a data scientist. I'm working like in currently Ineron Intelligence Private Limited, okay, as a junior data scientist. And today, actually, in this session, we'll be learning about this NLP and all, because I can't actually finish this NLP in just one session, because NLP takes time to actually explore more, because NLP is like broad field. I mean, you can say nowadays. So what I will do, I will just try to give you the high level idea. Okay, like if you are starting with the NLP, and if you want to approach a problem, okay, so what are the things you need to keep in your mind? Okay, so this is the main things, okay, of this session. So we have conducted, so that like you can get the idea, okay, at least get the idea like how to start. And at the last of this session, okay, I will give you some of the resources so that you can go ahead with that if you want to deep dive into, I mean, more in this NLP field. Okay, so I think it is fine with you everyone. So I think can I start right now? Can you please confirm? Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, so just let me know if you are able to see my screen. My screen is visible.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see the screen.
Okay. Okay, so welcome to this basics NLP to end-to-end pipeline community session. Okay, and I already introduced myself. My name is Boktiar Ahmed Bappi, and I am a junior data scientist at Ineron. So actually, uh, okay, sorry, yeah. So before starting this session, okay, I just need to tell you, okay, what are the prerequisites for this session? Okay, so I'm expecting from everyone, so they should be familiar with this Python programming and basics of machine learning. Okay, if you know deep learning basics of like, it's fine, otherwise it is also fine. Okay, you don't have to learn deep learning as of now, because what are the things I will be explaining. Okay, so it would be like totally high level. Okay, so you don't have knowledge on this deep learning part, it's fine. And understanding on this English language, because what are the example I will be giving you, okay, through this session, so it would be totally based on English language only. Okay, but if you are exploring other language, okay, so you can explore it later on. But for me, actually, it is easy to actually use this English language, because I think English should be familiar to everyone. Okay, so that's why we'll be using this English language example, okay, through this session. So now let's start off with, first of all, this basics of NLP. Okay, so before starting like NLP pipeline, I just introduce to the NLP field. Okay, so what is like NLP and why actually we're like supposed to learn this NLP and all. Okay, so first of all, I'll be discussing about that, then we'll be looking into this NLP end-to-end pipeline section. So let's introduce like NLP first of all. Okay, so what is the introduction of NLP? So there is a great definition you will find from this Wikipedia site. Okay, so NLP full meaning is natural language processing. So it's a like subfield of linguistic, computer science, and artificial intelligence concerned with the interaction between computers and human language. Okay, in particular, how to program computers to process and analyze large amount of natural language data. So sorry, I think, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
now
so
audible. Yeah,
okay, actually
No, there
I'm
was a small disturbance.
okay,
yeah.
actually I'm using my phone data, so somebody called me, so that's why actually just a minute. Okay, Let me see my connection. Okay, just a
Okay,
minute.
that's
Okay.
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 Vidura, are you recording the session?
Yeah, I'm just recording. Sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
please do the recording. Okay, now I think, am I audible? Hello?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, baby.
Okay, fine. Yeah, now I got back my Wi-Fi. Okay, no issue. Okay. So what I was discussing, so natural language processing is a subfield of linguistic, computer science, and artificial intelligence concerned with the interaction between computers and human language. Okay, so if you see natural language processing, like it's like a combination of this computer science, linguistic, okay, and this information engineering and artificial intelligence. Okay, so if you combine this together, so you will get NLP. Okay, so that means natural language processing. See, if you just think carefully, okay, just whenever you are speaking something, so there is a flow, okay, you are following, there is a context you are following, right? So if we want to make computer understand this kinds of language, so what we need to do, okay, we need to like engineer some of the information here. Okay, suppose I'm speaking something right now. So if I want to make my computer understand that language, so what I need to do, okay, so behind that there are lots of engineering I think process researchers have developed. Okay, so we'll be look into each and everything, like how to actually we can make computer to understand our language. Okay, so what are the engineering is there, okay, behind this kinds of projects, I mean process. Okay, I will tell you each and everything, don't worry. So just remember one thing, natural language processing is a subfield of linguistic, computer science, and artificial intelligence. Okay, so if you just mix them together, so you will get like NLP, that means natural language processing. Okay, so now let's discuss about why NLP is useful. Okay, so we supposed to be learn like NLP. Okay, so now before that we need to understand why NLP is useful. Okay, why should we learn this NLP? So I already discussed NLP enables computers to understand natural language as human do. Okay, so suppose I'm speaking right now and you are trying to understand my language. Okay, what I'm trying to explain, right? I'm sharing my knowledge with you and you are trying to grab this knowledge, okay, in your mind. So this is a kinds of communication technique we can say. Okay, so before, like when we didn't have this kinds of natural language processing, what we used to do, okay, so when we have a computer, we had a computer, so that was like totally rule based computer. So what we need to do, we just used to press some of the button and all, okay, and it used to do the job for us. Okay, but nowadays if you see computer system, your mobile system is like, it's like very developed. Okay, so what you can do, you can just speak something, okay, so that will recognize automatically your computer, and your computer will do that thing, okay, for you. Suppose we search voice, I search, I think you have done, okay, like Google or YouTube, you do voice search, or you use this Google assistant. Okay, so you just speak and your machine can understand that language. Okay, so this is the actually main thing. Okay, but just to consider, if we don't have this kinds of communication, okay, if we don't have this kinds of language, so what will happen actually? Okay, just consider animal can't speak. Okay, so they can't share their knowledge, they can communicate each other but they can share the knowledge, okay, between them. So that's why animal is doing, okay, whatever they used to do, you can say in 200 years back. Okay, but we as a human being, we know the language, we can communicate each other, we can share our knowledge, okay, with each other. So we are able to make many things, okay, in these decades, like we are able to come up with a, you can say, different new technology. Okay, suppose nowadays you are using so many of technology. How you got this technology? Okay, because everyone are able to share their knowledge with each other. So when they're sharing the knowledge with each other, they're able to come up with the new solution. Okay, so that's why this NLP is useful everywhere. Okay, so that enables computer to understand natural language as human do. So and after come NLP in the market, so your machine like you can say started able to understand this kinds of natural language, okay, from human side. So that's why we are building this Siri, then Amazon Alexa, then Google Assistant. Okay, everything we are building right now. Okay, so you can say this is kinds of NLP evaluation, okay, from the decade we are using, okay, in our day-to-day life. Okay, so this is the thing. So that's why actually we can say NLP is useful. Okay, so everywhere whenever we are considering this machine learning and deep learning field, okay, and if you are considering the NLP, like you can say in our day-to-day life we are using it everywhere, okay. So that's why we can say like, yeah, NLP is useful for everywhere. Now let's talk about some real world use cases and real world application, okay, core application of this NLP. So I think you all have used this email, okay, like Gmail from this Google site, you all send email each other, right? Then you have used this Outlook, okay. So this kinds of application is like extensively using this kinds of NLP features, okay, such as like I think you know spam classification, okay. Suppose if some spam will come in your email, so it will be automatically detect and it will go to the spam folder, okay. Then priority inbox, if I talk about calendar event extraction, then autocomplete, okay. So let me show you one thing here, just a minute. If I stop this slide and if I open my email, and suppose I want to send an email, just a minute, it's loading. So here suppose I am writing something, hello, hello there, then how, see, it is trying to give me some suggestion, okay, like how are you. I just written how and it is just trying to give me the suggestion like are you, okay. So this is the NLP actually application this email is using, okay. Then it is also using this spam, okay. If I show you this spam, there is a spam I mean folder you will find, so all the spam would be there, okay. See, it is automatically detecting these kinds of features, okay, this kinds of actually problem, okay, automatically, we don't have to worry about that. So here actually this NLP comes into picture if I talk about this email and all, okay. So that's why it is just trying to applying this kinds of natural language processing in this field, and is just trying to figure out this kinds of problem, okay. Now I think you have seen like voice assistant like system like Apple Siri, then Google Assistant, Microsoft Cortana, then Amazon Alexa, okay. It is totally relies on the NLP technique, okay, and it interacts with the user, okay, understand user commands and responds accordingly. Suppose you are giving some commands, suppose you are telling just Alexa just turn on the light, okay. So it is just trying to turn on your light, okay. You are telling Alexa just play a music, so it is trying to play the music. So it is just trying to understand your voice, it is converting your voice to text, then that text actually it is trying to understand what you are trying to say, then it is doing the job, okay. So behind that actually NLP comes into picture, so NLP engineering comes into picture, okay. So whatever you are trying to do, everything would be using this NLP, okay. So I will discuss about that. Now let's talk about the modern search engines such as Google and Bing, okay. We are broadly using this Google and Bing search. Suppose you are searching anything, suppose you are searching what is the capital of Sri Lanka, so you will see at the top it will give the capital of Sri Lanka. You don't have to click on the link like you can say even. So what you will do, you will just ask what is the capital of Sri Lanka, it will try to extract the capital name of Sri Lanka and it will show you at the top of the your search engine, okay. So this kinds of information actually retrieval, information extraction, it is just trying to apply like in the backend of this engine, okay. Google search engine, then Bing search engine, everywhere it is just trying to like applying this thing. Then machine translation service, okay, like I think you know like Google Translator, we use Google Translator for our day-to-day use cases. Suppose you are trying to translate English to France to English, okay. So you are using this kinds of machine translation system, okay. Then you are using Bing Microsoft Translator, then there is a Amazon Translate, okay. So there are many translator you will get, but we are actually broadly using this Google Translator, Bing Translator, and this Amazon Translator, okay. These are famous thing and this is like also powerful, so it supports actually almost every language, okay. You can, if you just see, okay. And they are like currently working on some language also, like what are the language they haven't added till now, so they are trying to add this kinds of language, okay, in their translation system, okay. So now at the last actually there are chatbots also, like I think you have seen some of the chatbots. So chatbots actually what it will do, So it's like try to help, like you can say a customer, okay, like a person. Suppose you have a store, okay, you have a store. Suppose you have a medical store, okay. So you have created a website, and suppose a user is coming, okay, and he's asking for your product, okay. So what you can do, instead of just hiring one person, okay, for your you can say website, what you can do, you can create a chatbot. So what are the information you want to, like you can say, give to the users, you can train this kinds of data with this you can say chatbots model, and you can say deploy these chatbots to your website, so that whenever I'm typing something, suppose I want to know about this medicine, so your chatbots will supposed to give me the answer, okay. So these kinds of chatbots actually we are using broadly, okay. So let me show you some of the example. So if I just exit it, and I think you have heard of this OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI is nothing but you can say it's like a company of Elon Musk. So they have actually made this GPT-3 model. So it almost supports actually every natural language task. Okay, so actually I have the access of this OpenAI. So what I will show, I will show you some of the example, so that like you can get some of the idea like how it is working actually. So let me log in. So see, there are many example you will get, like question answering system, summarization text, okay, text to command. So what I will do, I will just pick a chatbot example from here. So see chat. So if I just click on that and open in playground, see this is the chatbot actually. So here actually you can write anything. Suppose I will be writing something here. Suppose hi there. Okay, I have written hi there. If I submit this text, so AI will tell hi, like how can I assist you. Okay, I will tell how are you. If I submit the text, so I'm doing well, thank you for you asking. Okay, how about you? So you can see it is like responding like a human, okay. So what I will do, I will just ask his name, like what's your name, what's your name. So see, he's telling my name is AI, okay. So if I talk about, tell me about uh, Sri Lanka. See, it is trying to, okay, answer all of your question, okay. So because how it is like able to answer all the question, because actually it is using this kinds of GPT-3 model in the backend. If you know, GPT-3 is like a big model, almost you can say like millions parameters it has, okay. And it has trained with almost you can say like you can say tons of data. So that's why actually it is able to answer, okay, all of your query, okay. So that's kinds of actually chatbot actually you can also build. So at the last of this session I will show you one chatbot example, like how to build this kinds of chatbot, because I think this session is mainly focused on the chatbot building, because you guys will be working on the chatbot and all, okay. So I will give you some of the idea on that. So yeah, so that was like example of this chatbot. If I talk about, now let me discuss other thing. So now I think you have the idea like the NLP, how we are using in the real world application, okay. So what actually what are the fields actually we are using this kinds of NLP, what are the core application we have, okay, as of now. So everything is there. So now let's talk about like various NLP tasks, okay. So suppose if you are working in NLP field, okay, so what are the tasks you have, okay. So first of all you have language modeling. So what is language modeling? So language modeling is nothing but this is a task of predicting what is the next word in a sentence will be based on the history of the previous words, okay. So I think I actually a couple of minutes ago, okay, I have shown you one example of this Gmail, okay. So here I was trying to write how are you, like I just written how, and it was trying to suggest some of the, you can say, words like are you. Okay, so you can say this kinds of auto completion. Okay, so it was just trying to suggest me. So this is the language modeling application, you can tell. Okay, suppose this is the here is a sentence: the students opened their book, laptop, exam, minds. Okay, so I think you have used this Google keyboard, so whenever you will be writing something, you will see some of the suggestion words are there. Okay, so you can pick any of them. Okay, so this is fall into language modeling. So language modeling, actually it has lots of application, like you can say, if I talk about like speech recognition, optical character recognition, handwritten like recognition, machine translation, and spelling correction. Okay, suppose you are typing something and the spelling is not correct, so it will try to suggest the correct spelling also. Okay, so you can say this is the application of this language modeling. Okay, now let's see the second you can say task we can do using this NLP. So we have text classification. Okay, so what is text classification? Suppose you have a big articles. Okay, you have a big articles, and now you want to classify actually these articles all about, like suppose you have 4 to 5 articles. So one articles is fall into food, one articles fall into sports, and one articles fall into politics. Okay, so if you apply this kinds of text classification, okay, text classification you can say strategy, so what it will do, it will try to figure out your related articles. Okay, and it will try to classify. Suppose this is the articles about food. Okay, it will classify as food and it will keep aside. Then it will again try to look into it, and it will try to figure out what is this article all about. Okay, so suppose you can see it is a sports related articles. Okay, so it will try to fall into like in the other side. So that's how actually what are the articles you have. Okay, what are the articles you have and what are the actually context it has. Okay, it is just try to understand, and it will try to classify these kinds of articles. Okay, so I think you have seen like many, you can say I mean this kinds of marketing website, I think you have seen, like Amazon you have seen. Okay, there people used to give the review. Okay, like after buying a product they will give a review. Okay, so this is a positive review or negative review. Actually Amazon will try to identify how it will identify. It will try to apply this kinds of classification technique, and when they are trying to apply this classification technique, it is just trying to read those review. Okay, and if it is a, like you can say, good review, like if it is a positive review, it will like mark it as positive, otherwise it will mark it as like negative review. Okay, so that's how actually they're tracking their actually business. Okay, like how many people are liking their products, how many people are not liking their products. Okay, so they're tracking each and everything. Okay, by applying this text classification. So at least one text classification actually projects I will be show you. Okay, at the last of this session. So you will see, like you will get the idea like how to do this kinds of text classification. Okay, now you have information extraction. So what is information extraction? I think you have seen like resume parser. Okay, so if you apply for the job, okay, so most of the company are using this kinds of resume parser nowadays. So what this resume parser does and what is this information extraction does actually. So it's, suppose you have some unstructured data. Suppose if you pass your resume, okay, there would be lots of information. Okay, there would be unstructured data. Okay, so if you just apply this information extraction, so what it will do, it will try to extract the key actually information from your resume. Suppose your age. Okay, suppose you, what is your age? Suppose you have 72 years old, then your gender, then your condition. Okay, then your symptom. Okay, everything it will try to extract from this actually unstructured text. Okay, not only resume, if you have unstructured documents also. So if you just apply this kinds of information extraction on top of that, so you can extract like many information. Okay, from that. So I think you have heard of this you can say data scrapping. Okay, so in data scrapping, what we do usually, we just try to scrap actually meaningful data. Okay, suppose we have lots of unstructured data all over the internet. So if we apply this kinds of information extraction, so which information I need, specifically that information I can extract, okay, from this unstructured data. So we call it information extraction. Okay, so it's fall into this machine learning task. Okay, so you will be working on this information extraction like broadly. Okay, if you are going further, okay, with that. So even we call it like name entity recognition. I think you have heard of what is name entity recognition. Okay, if you haven't heard of, so you will get the idea later on. So now information retrieval. So there was one thing like information extraction, and there is another thing, information retrieval. So what is the information retrieval all about? Okay, so this is nothing but this is the task of finding documents relevant to the users query from a large collection of application, like you can say Google search are well-known use cases of this information retrieval. Suppose there are lots of documents, okay, and you want a specific you can say I mean information. Okay, so from this collection of documents, it will try to retrieve that information for you. Suppose this is the user and it is his query. Okay, and there are, you can say, collection of documents. Okay, and it is the relevant documents. Okay, whatever user actually needs to actually whatever user needs, okay, this kinds of documents. Okay, so you can say this is a relevant documents. So whenever they will be passed their query, okay, to the retrieval system, it will try to figure out that actually relevant information from the collection of documents, and it will try to send it to the user. Okay, suppose if I search something like you can say, suppose, let me show you one example. I can show you here. Suppose I'm searching here, what is the prime minister uh, prime minister of Bangladesh, suppose if I search. Okay, so see, from this collection of documents, it is just trying to give me the relevant actual information. Okay, you can see Sheikh Hasina is the prime minister of Bangladesh. It is just trying to figure out this information from this collection of documents. Okay, so we call it information retrieval. Okay, information retrieval system. So I think now you got the idea what is information retrieval. Now let's see another example, another task actually in our this NLP. So conversational agents. Okay, so conversational agents means, suppose you have this Alexa, Siri, then you have you can say this Google Assistant. Okay, you broadly use. Then you have chatbots also. Okay, so you can also consider chatbots. So we are using these kinds of application. Then if I talk about text summarization, so what is text summarization? Suppose you have you can say a big text. Suppose you have a big text or a big paragraph, and if you want to summarize that paragraph to a short story, so you can use this kinds of text summarization technique. Okay, so what text summarization technique will do, this is the task actually aims to create short summaries of a long documents while retraining the code content of the previous the overall meaning of the text. Okay, suppose you have given a big you can say corpus, big documents. So it will first of all try to read your documents, and it will try to understand the context. Okay, I mean, what is this story all about, and what it will do, it will try to summarize the text. Okay, so what happened actually, so I think you have seen the IMDb website. Okay, in the IMDb website, what will happen? So if I just give you the example, so let me give you the example. Just if you log in to the IMDb, yeah, IMDb, if I search, if I go to the first link, so here if I select any movie, okay, suppose I am selecting this movie from here, let's select a movie, this is the video. Suppose I will be selecting this movie, Doctor Strange. Okay, and if you see, there should be a short summarize, okay, of this movie. So see, this is the summary of this movie. Okay, this is the summary of the whole movie. So I think if you watch a movie, okay, that should be more than 2 hours, but if you read this actually summary, okay, you will get the overall idea of about the movie, like what is this movie all about. Okay, what should be the story of this movie. Okay, so you will get some of the idea by reading this text. So we call it you can say text summarization in this case. Okay, so we have a big documents, and we are applying this kinds of text summarization technique, and it is just giving the summary to us so that we can get to know what is the text all about. Okay, so this is the task, you can say, in this NLP sector. Now we have question answering system. So I think you have seen some of the question answering system. If you just ask any kinds of question, okay, so it would be able to answer that question. Suppose there is an example you can see in a meteorology, precipitation is any product of a condensations of atmospheric water vapor that falls under the gravity. Now if I ask a question, what causes like you can say precipitation to fall. Okay, so it will answer like gravity. Okay, so first of all you need to give the relevant you can say passage. Okay, passage of your question. So this is the passage I have given. Now you have asked the question, okay, to your question answering system. So what it will do, it will try to first of all read this text. Okay, read this actually summary, and it will try to understand what your question, okay, what kinds of question you are asking. Based on that, actually it will give you the idea, like, yeah, here actually you want trying to get the information about the gravity. Okay, so what causes the precipitation to fall? Okay, so this is all about like gravity. Okay, so that kinds of question answering system you can also build, and it is like heavily used nowadays. So I think you have heard of this. You can say IBM Watson. Okay, it's kinds of question answering actually system. So if you ask any kinds of question, okay, to IBM Watson, so it will able to give the answer. Okay, so this is the thing. Now you have machine translation. I think I don't have to explain this machine translation. I think you know this kinds of machine translation and all. So if you want to translate any kinds of language to other language, so you can use this machine translation. Okay, for it. So this was like another example. Now we have topic modeling. So this is also actually broadly used topics, okay, inside this NLP sector. So what is this topic modeling all about? Suppose you have a large collection of documents. Okay, so this is the large collection of documents you have, and now you want to do the topic modeling. Suppose there are lots of topic related. Suppose there are topic related, suppose politics, there are topic related, suppose foods, there are topic related, suppose traveling. Okay, so first of all it will understand your documents, it will read it out every documents, it will try to understand the context. So if it is a food related, you can say a topic, so it will cluster as a food. Okay, if it is like you can say politics related topic, it will cluster as a politics. Okay, if it is like sports related topics, it will cluster as a sports. Okay, that's how actually it will start actually clustering your topic. Okay, so we call it a topic modeling system inside NLP. Now let's talk about like difficulty in terms of developing this kinds of application. Okay, this kinds of task actually, what is the difficulty to make this kinds of task? So there is a graph you can see. So spell checking. Okay, so if you want to make this spell checking application, so it's like easy kinds of, you can say, application you can make easily. The difficulty level is like, you can say, it's easy. Then you have keywords based information retrieval. So I have already shown you what is the retrieval system. Okay, so it's kind of little bit hard. Okay, then topic modeling, it's more little bit hard. Then text classification, it's like almost difficult. Then information extraction, it is almost difficult. Then cross domain conversation agents, okay, it is like medium. Then text summarization, okay, it is like close to hard. Then question answering, machine translation. And if I talk about like at the last, okay, like which is like really very hard, that is like open domain conversational agents. Okay, suppose if you want to build a conversational agent, suppose Alexa or Google Assistant, this kinds of application if you want to build, okay, so that would be like totally hard things to implement. Okay, but if you're building this kinds of, I mean, application, so that would be like actually a little bit easy to for you to I mean, you can say, implement this kinds of application. So now let's talk about like before starting the NLP. Okay, before starting the NLP sector or NLP pipeline, you need to understand the language, because here you will be you can say working on the language sector only. Okay, so first of all you need to understand what is language, because if you have the language domain understanding, so you can do anything inside NLP. But suppose you don't have this kinds of language understanding, so you can't actually build a robust system. Suppose you want to build a chatbot, so there actually you need to figure out, if a user is telling something, like I'm telling something, now what is the subject, what is the verb, what is the objects of this okay sentence, it should be able to try to identify. Okay, otherwise you cannot build like you can say robust system. Okay, so for that humans should have this kinds of language understanding. Okay, so you know language like is a very complex structure. If I talk about, okay, we compare to image and we compare to, you can say, numbers. If I talk about language, okay, you can't convert language, okay, in a number very easily. Okay, so there should be actually difficulty. So for that converting this kinds of language to number, so you should have understanding on this language understanding. Okay, so now let's talk about like what is language first of all. So language is a structured system of communication that involves complex combination of its constitute components such as character, words, sentence, etc. Okay, now we can think of a human language as composed of four major like you can say building blocks. So if I talk about like the major building blocks of a language, so the major building blocks is like phonemes, then you have this morphemes and lexemes, syntax and context. Okay, so these are the actually 4 to 5 things like major building blocks, okay, in a language whenever you are trying to you can say understand any kinds of language. Okay, so now let's look into it one by one. So first of all, what is phonemes? Okay, in a language, so phonemes is nothing but it's kinds of, you can say, phonemes are all the smallest units of a you can say of sounds in a language. They may not have any meaning by themselves, but they can uh, induce actually meanings when uttered in a combination with other phonemes. Okay, suppose you are trying to say bat. Okay, so whenever you are speaking bat, so B is coming at the first. Okay, then cat, K is coming at the first, then dog, D is coming at the first. Okay, so we call it phonemes. Okay, so every words actually whenever you are trying to speak, it has the phonemes. Okay, and that's why actually your NLP application is trying to understand. Okay, like what you are trying to say exactly. Suppose if I am speaking something right now, so what is the phonemes of these words? Okay, first of all it will try to understand like what is the phonemes, then it will try to understand the words. Okay, suppose I am telling pen. Okay, so pen, like it should be starting with the P. If I talk about cat, cat should be starting with the K. Okay, so K, like it sounds like K, but it is not exactly K, we use C only here. Okay, so if you see this is the list of these phonemes. So there are all the phonemes you will get. Okay, like ant you have A, egg you have E, I you have I. Okay, mm. Then if I talk about like you can say sure. Okay, so you have U R E. So this is the actually sounds. Okay, will be like you can say gaining whenever you are trying to say sure. Okay, so this is the actually phonemes of like you can say building blocks of language. Now we have like morphemes and lexemes. Okay, so what is this morphemes and lexemes? Just try to understand. Morphemes and is a smallest unit of a language that has a meaning. It from a combination of phonemes. Okay, then not all phonemes are words, but all prefix and suffix are morphemes. Okay, so what is morphemes? Let's try to understand. Suppose there is a word called unbreakable. So if you want to spell that word, okay, unbreakable, so there are three actually you can say phonemes you are using. Like you are using this we can say un plus break plus able. Okay, like if you just combine them together, so what you are training, you are telling like unbreakable. Okay, then cats. Okay, so you are first of all telling cats, then you are trying to combine the S. Okay, so that means cats. Then you can say tumbling. Okay, tumbling. Then unreliability, unreliable, et. Okay, so if you just combine them together, okay, so you can actually you can get a meaning, okay, of these words. So that's why we call it morphemes and lexemes, okay, of a like you can say language building block. Now we have syntax. Now let's talk about what is syntax actually. So syntax is a set of rules to construct a grammatically correct sentence out of the words and phrases in a language. Okay, so whenever we are trying to speak something, so we always follow the grammatical rules. Okay, suppose now I'm speaking with a flow. Okay, I'm speaking with a context, so you are able to understand. Suppose now I started speaking randomly. Okay, so you won't be able to understand. Why you won't be able to understand? Because I'm not following any kinds of context here. Okay, so that's why actually you won't be understand. Okay, so we call it a syntax. So whenever we are trying to learn any kinds of language, first of all we try to learn the syntax. Okay, so there is a actually syntax you can see like you can say the girl laughed at the monkey. Okay, so what is this girl about? Okay, what is this the, then what is this girl? Okay, laughed, what is, I mean how you will define this laugh? Okay, so if I tell you here, N stands for noun, V stands for verb, then P stands for you can say preposition, and noun phrases is denoted by NP and verb phrases denoted by VP. Okay, suppose girl is a noun. Okay, so that's why you can see the N here. Okay, loved is a like verb, so you can see the verb here. So suppose there is a you can say noun phrases is denoted by NP and verb phrases are denoted by VP. So whenever you are see the VP, so that means verb and your noun. Okay, so these are actually combined together so that you are trying to say VP. Kinds of tree structure it is like following. So if you just see it carefully, the girl is laughed at the monkey, the boat sailed up the river. Okay, so this sentence actually how it is structured. Okay, what is the syntax it is following, you will get each and every idea. So that's why actually knowledge understand, I mean language understanding is the root thing. Okay, whenever you are starting working in this NLP field. Okay, because I'm not expert in this you can say language section. Okay, so those whoever working in like you can say language, so they would be able to actually make more you can say more clear understanding, okay, on that. Suppose that's why actually we need domain experts. Okay, so suppose whenever when we are working on any kinds of external projects, we need domain experts. So suppose if you are starting if you're working in a chatbot, so there actually what are the main thing, okay, you need to follow like in a text. Okay, so you can get this kinds of information from this domain expert person. Okay, because you are the developer here, you are the NLP engineer here. Okay, so you are not supposed to be learn the like I say language. Okay, language here. Suppose language team would be different. They will give you the idea. Okay, so this sentence means like that, and this is the verb, this is the noun, okay, this is the objects. Okay, that's how they will be giving the information to you, so that you can utilize this kinds of thing and you can build your product. Okay, so that's how actually you approach any kinds of problem. Okay, so you have both team. You have domain expertise team. Okay, you have development team. Okay, you have NLP engineers. Okay, you have everything. Now let's talk about the context. Okay, so if you are trying to like you can speak a sentence, if you're trying to write a sentence, so you follow always a context. Okay, so what does it mean of context? So context is how various parts of the language comes together to convey a particular meaning. Okay, suppose now I'm speaking something, so there is a meaning of this sentence. Okay, I'm speaking, but if I speak randomly, okay, so you won't be able to understand. Okay, if I don't follow any kinds of context, okay, so you won't be able to understand these kinds of language. Okay, so that's why whenever we are trying to speak something, we always follow the context. Okay, so complex NLP tasks such as you can say sarcasm detection, summarization, and topic modeling are some of the tasks that use this kinds of context heavily. Okay, suppose you are trying to summarize anything, so first of all you need to understand the context of these documents, then you will be able to summarize that. You want to do the topic modeling, so you suppose I have written who is the you can say prime minister of Bangladesh. Okay, so first of all it was trying to understand the context. Okay, context of my question, then it was trying to figure out the answer. Okay, so that's actually you need to always follow this context. Okay, whenever you are trying to starting any kinds of you can say language. Okay, any kinds of language you are starting, so you need to always follow this kinds of context. Okay, now let's talk about building blocks of language and their application. Okay, so as far actually we have learned many kinds of actually building blocks, 4 to 5 actually building blocks we have learned. Like we have seen like phonemes. Okay, then we have seen like context. Okay, then we have seen like syntax. Okay, these are the thing. Then we have seen like morphemes. Okay, lexemes, these are the thing. So now if I talk about with respect to their application, okay, so what are the application we have? So you can see we have you can say whenever we want like context meaning. Okay, so we have like summarization and topic modeling and sentiment analysis. Okay, so these are the application we build inside the NLP. Then we have syntax and we can say phrases. Okay, like syntax, like phrases and sentences. Okay, like we have seen the syntax here. So parsing, entity recognition, and relation extraction. Okay, so if you want to do the entity recognition, relation extraction, so you have syntax to follow. Then then you have morphemes and lexemes. Okay, whenever you are doing this kinds of tokenization, word embedding. Okay, I will tell you what is word embedding. Then what is parts of speech tagging. Okay, so whenever this kinds of working in this field, so you have this kinds of you need to follow this morphemes and lexemes. Okay, then you have phonemes, so speech to text and speaker identification, text to speech. Okay, so whenever you are trying to convert this kind of speech to text and text to speech, you need to follow always these phonemes. Okay, then you need whenever you are doing the speaker identification, suppose my phone, this is my phone, whenever I turn on my you can say Google Assistant, when I speak something, it will try to recognize my you can say voice. Okay, it will identify this is my voice, this is not your voice. So if you are speaking, so you'd be an unknown person, but if I speaking, so it will call me, yeah Bappy, you are speaking. So how it will get to know, okay, I'm speaking here. So it is just trying to understand my phonemes. Okay, it's just trying to understand the phonemes, and it is trying to you can say classify. Okay, that voice is like Bappy. Okay, so this is the application you can talk about. Now approaches to the NLP problem. So there are actually many approaches you can follow to we can say any kinds of NLP problem. So major you can say thing is like you have heuristic approach, you have machine learning approach, and you have deep learning approach. Okay, so whenever we didn't have any kinds of machine learning and deep learning approach, people used to follow the heuristic approach. Okay, so what is this heuristic approach? Okay, I will be discussing, but here just consider. So heuristic approach means suppose this is a rule based you can say rules. Suppose if you want to you can say make a spam detection. Okay, spam detection, spam classification system. Okay, suppose it will try to identify your spam, this mail is spam or not. So using heuristic approach, okay, how it will get to know, okay, so this is not a spam and this is spam. Then machine learning we have, even though I think what is machine learning? Machine learning is all about statistical actually learning. So it will usually use this statistical model. And if I talk about the deep learning is totally based on the neural network. Okay, so if I see this is the neural network, so here actually you try to train a neural network, it is like more generalized and it is like able to learn from your past. Okay, suppose you are doing some of the mistake, so that mistake actually it will consider and it will try to learn, okay, what was your mistake. Okay, and it will upgrade the weight. Okay, so that is the power of like neural network. It's like our brain. Okay, suppose if we do any kinds of mistake, so that mistake we actually avoid in our further. Okay, so that's why we call it deep learning and neural network. So now let's discuss one by one what is this heuristic based NLP. Okay, so heuristic based NLP means, suppose when we didn't have any kinds of machine learning and deep learning approach, we used to follow this kinds of heuristic approach. Okay, so like it is similar to the early AI system, like early attempts to the designing NLP system were based on the rules for the task at hand. Okay, suppose you want to do the classification, is there any mail, this is a spam or not. So how you'll get to know? Suppose let me write here, let me take a pen. Okay, so suppose you want to do spam classification. Okay, spam classification using this heuristic approach. Okay, heuristic approach. So in a spam, actually what are the words actually will be considering? Suppose if someone sending, like you got a gift. Okay, you got a gift, like you can say $300. Okay, $300, you got a gift. So you will try to understand this kinds of words, actually this kinds of words. Okay, this, if this word is coming, okay, in a email this kinds of word is coming, so you will call it like, yeah, this is spam, this is spam email. Okay, so you will be writing some of the program, like if this actually words in list. Okay, like you can say word list means this is your word list. Okay, if it is in one list, then you will tell like, yeah, this is the spam email. Okay, spam email. And if it is not there, so we will call it is not a spam. Okay, it is not a spam. So this is the actually heuristic approach you used to follow. It is totally rule based. Okay, you are creating the rule here. Okay, you are creating all the rules. So suppose there is another mail you got, like suppose he has sent like that, you got a mobile phone. Okay, you got a mobile phone as a you can say as a price. Okay, as a price. So here actually it is also spam email, but the word is like different here. Okay, they have changed the word. Now your actually application will fail that, because this kinds of word is not present in this new sentence. Okay, so that's why it will fail. So that's actually heuristic approach we actually don't use, okay, in our NLP problem, because it is not able to learn from your like text. Okay, suppose if it is like doing mistake, okay, if it is not able to learning, it is totally based on, like you can say, conditional statement. What are the condition you are writing, it will just try to follow that. So there are many actually library you can use for this heuristic approach. You have regular expression. So I think you know what is regular expression in Python. So there actually you can define a pattern. Okay, so based on that pattern, actually it will try to actually do your job. Then you have wordnet. So wordnet is nothing but it's a combination, okay, collection of words. Okay, so you just try to store in a database. So whenever you are trying to solve any problem, you just compare with the database. Okay, so like is this word is present or not? If it is present, so you are considering it yes, otherwise you will consider it no. Okay, then you have open mind, common sense. Okay, so this is another actually organization, or you can say things. Okay, they are also try to collect these kinds of okay, words and new things, okay, in their community, so that whenever you are trying to building any kinds of application, okay, using heuristic like based NLP system, so you are trying to follow their condition only. Okay, so that's why we don't use it. So now let's clear the board and let's go to the second option. We have this machine learning for NLP. So what is this machine learning for NLP? So if I talk about machine learning techniques are applied to textual data, just as they are used on other forms of data, like such as image, speech, then structured data. Supervised machine learning techniques such as classification, regression method. Okay, they are heavily used in the NLP task. Okay, so I think if you are familiar with the machine learning, so you will be heard of this naive Bayes you can say algorithm. There are support vector machine. Okay, there are hidden Markov model. Okay, so how you use this machine learning for your NLP task? Okay, so first of all, suppose you have a text data. Suppose this is the text data you have. Okay, so this is the textual data you have. Okay, so this data actually you need to convert to number first of all. Okay, so number means suppose you have suppose you are represented this textual as you can say 23, okay, 23.5, then comma you can say 34.4, okay. So this number actually, how this number comes, okay, so there are different techniques, okay, you can follow to converting this kinds of text to number, okay. So we'll be learning whenever we'll be looking into the NLP you can say pipeline. So there we have a something called feature engineering. In this feature engineering field, we just try to convert this text to the number, okay, so that our model can understand, because at the end model is what? Model is like you can say algorithm, algo, like mathematical algorithm, okay. So if you just directly passing this kinds of text, okay, it won't be able to learn, okay, it will throw an error like I'm not able to understand what you are giving. But if you are converting this kinds of you can say text to the number, and if you are passing this number to your model, okay, then it will work, because it's a, like at the end mathematical model, okay, it supposed to, you supposed to give the number, not the text, okay. So that's why whenever you are trying to use machine learning, so before like passing your data to the you can say model, okay, so you need to convert to this number, okay. After converting the number, you will pick any of the model, like you have naive Bayes or support vector machine or hidden Markov model, you will give, it will try to give you the prediction, okay, but it will learn from your data, okay, it will try to identify the pattern, okay. So but in our previous heuristic method, it was not able to learn, because it was like totally based on the you can say this rule based I mean system, okay. But here actually it is not rule based, it is like totally learning kinds of system, okay, like it's the statistical learning. It will try to apply this kinds of equation on top of your data, it will identify the pattern, okay, what you are trying to say, okay. Based on that, it previously I mean in future, if you give any kinds of new data, it will be able to give the answer, okay. But if you need more generalized results, suppose you want you can say generalized results, like it would be able to learn from like you can say itself, okay. Suppose this is the deep learning for NLP. So what is deep learning? Actually deep learning is nothing but it's a neural network, okay. So neural network actually can learn, you can say very you can say broadly, okay. Suppose if you are giving any kind of problem, if it is like doing mistake, okay, it can learn from the future, okay, and it can upgrade the you can say weights, okay. That's how actually it able to run. Now in deep learning sector, okay, you have unstructured data also, okay, you can pass. But in machine learning only you need to give the structured data and tabular data. But in deep learning you can give unstructured data. So what does it mean of unstructured data? Suppose you have image, you have text, okay, so these are unstructured data we call, okay. So in deep learning field you have many more algorithm. If I talk about nowadays, you have recurrent neural network, that means RNN we use in NLP sector. We have a long short term memory, that means LSTM, this is another algorithm we use inside the NLP. Then convolutional neural network we also use inside NLP, although we use CNN is only for the image and video cases, but in text also you can apply this convolutional neural network, okay. Some of the research has proven, if you are applying this kinds of convolutional neural network with this we can say I mean RNN and LSTM, so we will get a good results, okay. Then you have transformer based actually model. So transformer based model means, suppose you have, I think, heard of BART GPT, okay. So these are the transformer based model. Then you have autoencoder means like it is like kinds of you can say what I call like combination model, like a hybrid model. So it is like using this you can say encoder plus decoder architecture, okay. So it is used for this machine translation, okay, machine translation. That means if you are if you want to convert English to France, okay, then France to English, so you can use this kinds of autoencoder architecture, okay. So it works on this kinds of machine translation task, okay. So this is the deep learning field if I talk about, and this is the deep learning approach you have. So now you can ask me like which approach should I follow, okay. So whenever you are trying to working on any kinds of NLP you can say application, first of all start with the easy one. Suppose first of all apply the heuristic approach, okay. So if it is possible, first of all apply the heuristic approach. If your data is too simple, try to apply heuristic approach, because heuristic approach at the end is like you can say small kinds of rules you are creating, okay. So your model size would be like very less, okay. Then if it is not working, then try to apply machine learning, okay. Then machine learning, if you are getting good results, just try to use that only, because if you apply the deep learning, so your model size would be like very big, okay. So whenever you will be trying to deploy that model, okay, to the production, so you will face a lots of issue, okay, like the performance wise, and memory wise, okay, we'll get a lots of issue. But if you are applying this kinds of machine learning and heuristic based approach, okay, so your model size would be very less, okay, and your inferencing power and your machine, you can say, capability would be like very less, okay. So that's why whenever you have any kinds of problem, try to pick up heuristic approach or machine learning approach, try to apply at least, okay. If you are getting good results, then it's fine, otherwise just go with deep learning, because at then deep learning will give you the good results only. If you apply this kinds of transformer architecture on top of your problem, like you have BART GPT, okay, then distill BART, okay, this kinds of algorithm you have already, just you have to download from Hugging Face and you will apply that, okay, and it will do your job. Like you don't have to write the code even for that. But at the end, if you observe, your model size would be like very big, like 2 to 3 GB, okay, that would be like your model size. So if you want to deploy that model to the production, so that would be like very hard to you, and that would be like very costly for you, okay. So you always need to reduce the cost whenever you are trying to create any kinds of application. Just try to start with like easy one, okay. If it is working fine, just keep it, otherwise just go with deep learning, okay. So that should be my suggestion. So as we have seen, like so far, like what are the approaches we have inside this NLP, okay. Like we have seen, we have heuristic approach, we have machine learning approach, and we have deep learning approach, okay. So now, why is like NLP like challenging still, okay. So we have seen, like we have some of the approaches, okay, we are following, like we have for heuristic, machine learning and deep learning, but still it is challenging. Why it is still challenging, okay, let's discuss. uh, because of this ambiguity and creativity, okay. So this is the two things, okay, still like NLP like facing challenging, okay, because of that only. Because what is ambiguity and what is creativity, okay, of a human language are just two of the characteristic that makes NLP demanding a area to work in, okay. So let's discuss about these two things. So you have ambiguity means like you can say certainty like of the meaning, okay. Suppose there is a text, you can see the man couldn't lift his son because he was so weak, okay. So now by seeing the sentence, okay, can you just tell me like here, like his son because he was like you can say so weak. So what this like he means like this son or the man, okay. So it's like it's still confusing for us also, okay. Like who speaks weak, okay, who speaks weak. Now there is a second example, let's pick up. The man couldn't find his lift his son because he was too heavy, okay. Who was too heavy, like the man was or his son was, okay. So we can actually think about that, because we have the brain and we have the creativity, actually we can think about that. But for machine, actually it is like very challenging to understand, okay. That's why NLP is like still challenging, okay, in the field. Now there is another actually example you can pick, like Mary and Sue are sisters, okay. Then Mary and Sue are mothers. Now can you tell like how are Mary and Sue are related, okay. Because they are telling Mary and Sue are sisters and Mary and Sue are mothers, okay. So it's like still confusing for us also, but we can actually give the right answer because we have the creativity knowledge, but machine doesn't have this kinds of knowledge, okay. So that's why machine will like you can say confuse, okay. So that's why we call it ambiguity, okay, ambiguity in this NLP challenging field. Now we have common knowledge, like suppose you are speaking something. Suppose a key aspect of any human language is common knowledge, okay. Suppose common sense you have. Suppose if I tell like man bite dog, would you believe that, okay? No, I think you won't be believing that. But if I talk like dog bite man, okay, you will believe that, because it's kinds of common sense, okay. Man I mean can't bite actually dog, okay, but dog can bite man, okay. So this is kinds of common sense we are applying in this field, okay. So but for machine, actually it is not actually very easy to understand what does it mean, okay. So that's why still it is challenging in this field. Now we have creativity, okay. What does it of creativity? Suppose you are writing some kinds of poems, okay. Poems would be the great example, because that is like totally creativity. You are trying to create a poem, so there should be a lots of meaningful sentences, okay, you will be creating. But making machine understand this creativity, okay, it's a hard problem, not just in NLP but in AI in general, okay. So that's why this creativity comes into picture. And you have diversity, okay. So what does it mean of diversity? Like there are too many languages. So if I tell about in these words, okay, there are too many languages, so you can't actually work in each and every language, okay. So that's why actually NLP is like still challenging field, okay, inside this you can say AI sector, okay. If I talk about now, let's wrap up everything, okay, because as far we have seen a lots of things, okay, about this NLP, basics of NLP and all. Now I will just shortly wrap up all the things. So we have seen like introduction of to NLP, we have seen what is NLP and all, and we have also discussed why NLP is useful, okay. Now I have also shown you like NLP real world use cases and core application of this NLP. Then various NLP tasks we have seen, okay, like we have you can say document classification, we have entity recognition, okay, we have information retrieval, we have chat bots, okay, we have seen a lots of tasks, okay, for this NLP. Then difficult terms of developing comprehensive solution, we have seen what are the difficulty, okay, if you are developing any kinds of projects, okay, so what is the difficulty level for that, we have also seen a graph, I think you remember. Then we have seen what is language, okay, so what is language, I think you know, like if you are studying in this NLP section. Then building blocks of an NLP language, okay, so sorry, building blocks of language, okay, so what are the building blocks we have for creating this kinds of language, like we have phonemes, okay, we have morphemes, okay, we have lexemes, okay, these are the things we have already seen. Then we have seen like what are the approaches we have, like we have heuristic approaches, we have deep learning approaches, we have machine learning approaches we follow usually. And at the last of this you can say lecture, we have also seen like why NLP is still challenging, because I have shown you like the uncertainty, ambiguity, okay. Then you have this you can say creativity, okay, so these are the thing actually machine can't do, okay, that's why NLP is still challenging, okay, in this field. Now I want to give you some assessment, okay, like as far I think you got the idea, like the basics of NLP part, okay. Now if I tell you, just tell me about the NLP, what is NLP and what are the approaches we have. If you are starting any kinds of NLP projects, okay, what are the projects you have, okay. So what you need to do after the session, okay, you can write down any blog, okay, by referring this lecture. So you can write a small blog like what is NLP is all about, what are the application are present inside NLP, okay, what are the tasks we can solve using NLP. You can write down a blog, okay. So whenever you will be write down a blog, okay, you will get all the idea, okay, you can remember actually like basics of NLP thing in your mind, okay. And you can also tag me, okay, in LinkedIn you can tag me like you have written this blog, okay, I would be able to see that, okay. Just write any kinds of like blog, like what are the things you have learned from the session, okay, just try to learn that, write that, okay. So that would be good for you. So this is the assessment I just want to give you. Now let's start our end-to-end NLP pipeline, okay. But before that, I just want to confirm from your side, I think you are able to understand, okay, as far whatever I have discussed. Just can you please respond from your side? Anyone? Hello?
Yes, agree.
Okay. So I think it is fine with you, everyone?
Yeah, sorry for disturbing. I think people can actually just put a message that you can understood, and if there are any question, you can just ask now. Or, I mean, you
Okay,
can ask.
I'll be giving actually Q&A session, okay, at the last of this session. But as of
Yeah,
now, I
yeah,
just finish all the things, okay? Because we have a lots of things left, okay? I just want to finish because I already told you. It will take time, okay? If you have questions, so just stick with me, okay? At the last, we will take the question and all, okay?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So now let's start our main thing, okay? The end-to-end pipeline, like you can say in this NLP section. Okay. So as far actually we have discussed the basics of NLP. We have introduced the NLP thing. Okay. We have seen like what are the application we have. Okay. I think someone open his microphone, just you can run off that. Okay. Yeah. So we have seen like what are the tasks we have inside NLP. We have discussed all the things. Okay. Now I will just give you now the high level overview. Okay, if you are creating any kinds of NLP projects, suppose any kinds of NLP projects you are creating, suppose chatbots you are creating, text classification, or information retrieval, or creating any kinds of conversational agents. Okay, so what are the things actually you need to follow? So whenever you have raw data, okay, so how to make use these kinds of data set, okay, how to claim this data set, how to do the engineering on this data set, okay. So you have to do each and everything here, okay. So that's why we call it end-to-end NLP pipeline, because NLP application can't be built just one process, because there are lots of processes you need to follow, okay. So these are the processes we'll be looking into it, okay. Now before starting the NLP pipeline, I just want to just introduce what is pipeline first of all. What does it mean of this pipeline? Okay. So if I talk about pipeline, means like break the problem down into the several sub problems. Okay. Suppose you have a problem statement. Okay. Suppose you want to create a text classification system. Okay. So first of all, you need to break down the problem statement. Okay. Suppose text classification, I need to do it because
whenever you will start any kinds of projects, we just need to collect the data first of all. Okay, we call it data acquisition. Okay, then you need to do the text pre-processing. Text pre-processing means you need to do the text cleanup, basic pre-processing, advanced pre-processing. Okay, then feature engineering, modeling, evaluation, deployment, and monitoring. Update. Discuss each and everything, don't worry. But just remember, whenever we have any kinds of problem, break down in a sub-problem statement. Okay, so then try to develop a step-by-step procedure to solve them. Okay, so suppose I told you you have to just try to pick up one problem statement first of all, solve it, then pick up another one. That's how we are creating any kinds of pipeline. Okay, so we are creating kinds of pipeline. So we call it, you can say, NLP pipeline. Okay, this process is involved. We could also list all the forms of text processing needed at each step. This step-by-step processing of the text is known as a NLP pipeline. Okay, so I think you got the idea, like what is NLP pipeline. Okay, so in the NLP pipeline we have a lots of things. Okay, suppose first of all we do the data acquisition. Data acquisition means we collect the data first of all. Okay, then we have text preparation. In the text preparation we have text cleanup. Suppose here if I talk about this text. Okay, so there should be a lots of actually unnecessary information. Suppose this comma. Okay, if I talk about this full stop. Okay, then there should be some stop words. Okay, then should be some HTML tags. Okay, there should be some emojis. Okay, so these kinds of text cleanup we need to do before feeding this text to your model. Okay, then basic preprocessing we have, advanced preprocessing we have, then we have feature engineering. So I'll discuss what is feature engineering. We have modeling, we have evaluation, we have deployment, we have monitoring, and model updating. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7 steps you need to always follow whenever you are creating any kinds of NLP application. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. Okay, points. But before starting, I mean, before discussing these things, okay, one thing I just want to tell you, it's not universal. Okay, universal means suppose in every problem statement, okay, you don't need to follow each and everything. Okay, each and every process you don't need to follow. Suppose you are creating kinds of chatbot. Okay, in this chatbot, you can't remove actually the emoji, because emoji will also contain the kinds of information of the context of whatever you are trying to say. Suppose I have given emoji kinds of smiley face. Okay, that means I am happy with the text, whatever I am telling. Okay, so your chatbot should understand. Okay, that emoji means like you are trying to say something happy. Okay, so that's why you don't have to remove these kinds of emojis from the text. Okay, so that's why it is not universal. You can't actually follow all the process. Okay, in all the application. Okay, so whenever you need any kinds of, you can say, process, you can follow that one. Okay, so I will tell you what are the processing you have. And deep learning pipelines are slightly different. Okay, because if I talk about a deep learning pipeline, so deep learning pipeline will be slightly different. Suppose in machine learning, what happens actually? Machine learning, you have to create the feature actually. Okay, you have to create the feature. But in deep learning, the algorithm actually try to create the features. Okay, so if you just give any kinds of data, it will try to create the features for you. You don't have to create the features, but in machine learning you have to create the features. Okay, so that's why in deep learning this pipeline are slightly different. If I talk about, and pipeline is non-linear. Okay, non-linear means, suppose if I give you this example, suppose you have done text processing. Okay, then before that you have done this feature engineering, you have done the modeling. Okay, then you have deployed your model. Okay, after deploying your model, you are monitoring your model and thinking like your model is not performing good. Then you will do the again evaluation. Okay, if it is not good, then you will again train your model. Again you will do the evaluation. Again you will deploy the model, and again you will start the monitoring. So it's not following the linear approach. Okay, it can be followed non-linear also. Okay, so you don't have to suppose to like evaluate your model after training. You can deploy that model. You can see in the production how it is performing. If it is performing well, then you just keep the model. Then if it is not performing, just check the evaluation metrics. Okay, like what are the mistakes it is doing. Then if it is like doing bad, then retain your model, like model update. Then again you can deploy your model, again monitor your model. Okay, so that's why this pipeline is not non-linear, we can say. Okay, so now let's start with this NLP pipeline. Okay, so for that I will open my Blackboard. Just a minute. I think my Blackboard is visible to all of you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, what we had. Okay, so if I show you here. So we had data acquisition. So first of all, let's speak data acquisition first. Okay, then let's discuss. So in our first pipeline, we had data acquisition. Okay. So what does it mean? Like data acquisition? Data acquisition means collecting data. Collecting data. Okay. So you can collect. You can say many ways. There are many ways. Okay, you can collect the data. Suppose you have available data. You have suppose other data. Then you have suppose you don't have any data. Okay, no data you have. So what you need to do? Create your own data. Okay. Now let's discuss one by one. What is available data? Available data means suppose you have already the CSV file data or PDF data, PDF or TXT data, or you have suppose there is a we can say already you have in your computer suppose image data. Okay, so these are the actually available data you have already. So what you need to do is just actually use that data directly. Okay, because data is already available. But what is other data? Okay, other data means suppose you don't have that data in your system, but it has in other system. Suppose in database. Database would be great example. Database. Suppose there is a database of your office. Okay, suppose you are working in a company. So there is a database, and they told to extract this data to your system and try to work. Start working on that. So what you will do? First of all, you will connect your data, connect your database. Okay. Connecting the database, then you will collect the data. Collect data. Okay. Then what you will need to do? You need to extract those data, and you will use that. Okay. Otherwise, what you can do? You can do web scraping. Okay. Suppose data set is not inside web scraping, but this data is like presented in you can say internet. So what you can do? You can do web scraping. Web scraping means you will be opening up web page, and in that web page actually you will be extracting some of the information. Okay, so we call it web scraping. Then we have you can say public data set. Public data set. What is public data set? Like I think you know Kaggle platform. Kaggle is the best example. Kaggle. Okay, so in Kaggle actually you will get a lots of public data, so you can directly download that with free of cost. Okay, then you have UCI machine learning repository, ML repository. Okay, so this is another website you can collect the data. Okay, then like that actually you have lots of options. Okay, like you can say you have data augmentation also. Data augmentation. Suppose you have less number of data. Suppose you have scrapped around 200. You can say rows. 300 rows you have scrapped. Okay, 200 rows information. But using data augmentation technique, you can increase the size. Suppose you can increase 1,000. Till 1,000 you can increase. Okay, so we call it data augmentation. Okay, now let's clear some. Yeah. So now if you don't have any data, no data, that means no data. So what you need to do? You need to create your own data. Okay, so how you need to create your own data? Suppose you want to create a chatbot. Okay, chatbot wise, first of all, you need to collect the conversation. Like if I say hi, okay, so what your chatbot should respond? It should be say hello. Okay, if I say how are you? Okay, how are you? It will say fine about you. Okay, so these are the things actually you need to create your own data. Okay, here you are creating your own data. That's how actually it will take time creating your own data, but if you don't have any option, okay, so suppose you have figure out lots of websites and because lots of public database, but it is not available, then you can create your own data because problem should be different. Okay, for your case. So that's actually we can do the data acquisition part. Okay, so once this data acquisition is done, once this data acquisition is done, once data is like in our hand, so we start doing the text preparation. Text preparation. What does it mean? Text preparation? Let's see. let's write text preparation. Okay. So inside text preparation, what you do? You do clean up, like what are the cleanup you do? Like HTML, AST, ML tags. Okay. Then you do spelling checking. Spelling is correct or not. Then you do you can say emoji handling. So this is the things you do inside the text cleanup. Then again you have basic preprocessing. Basic preprocessing. So in basic preprocessing, what are the things you have? I will discuss. Then you have advanced preprocessing. Advanced preprocessing. Now let's discuss about basic preprocessing. In basic preprocessing, you have basic preprocessing. Let's discuss. Basic preprocessing, you have tokenization first of all. Tokenization. Okay. So you have sentence tokenization. Then you have word tokenization. Okay. So I will discuss what does it mean of tokenization. Then you have optional preprocessing step also. Optional, call it optional. You can apply or you can't. I mean, if you are willing to apply, you can apply. Otherwise, you can't. I mean, you don't have to apply. Okay, these are optional. So you have stop word removal. Stop word removal. Then you have steaming. Then you have removing punctuation. Remove punctuation. Okay, what is punctuation? Like full stop, comma, then exclamation icon, then question icon. Okay, these are some punctuation you have inside your data. So you need to also take care. Otherwise, your model will confuse. Okay. Then you have you can say lowercase. Okay, suppose there is a sentence. I am puppy. Okay, so you can see this is uppercase. This is uppercase. Okay, rest of the thing are lowercase. So what you need to do, you need to like transform it all the lowercase. Okay, so what you write? I am puppy. Okay, so now I have transformed it to the lowercase operation. So now in future, whenever I will give any name, suppose I am giving my name like puppy. Sorry, puppy is my name. Is my name. Okay. So you can see now this puppy is sent. Okay. So now you consider, yeah, I'm the puppy. But if I give like uppercase B, so now this B and this B will be different. Okay, your model can understand what is happening. So that's why we do this lowercase handling also. Okay. Now we have you can say language detection. Language detection. Why you do the language detection? Suppose in your input, okay, there might be some other language input. Okay, so if you are not detecting the language, so if you just passing that language, okay, to your model. Suppose you have trained a model using English language, but as an input you are giving suppose you can say Hindi language. Okay, so your model will get confused. Okay, which actually you are trying to give. That's why language detection is like another, you can say pre-processing step you can follow. Then you have lemmatization. Lemmatization. Okay, lemmatization. So it's another technique. Okay, so we call it lemmatization. Lemmatization, I will discuss what is lemmatization, but I will tell you what is lemmatization. Suppose you have sentence like play, what? Play, playing, playing, and suppose plays. So let me just clear. Suppose we have three words: play, playing, and plays. Okay. So if you see, this root form would be play. Okay, play. This is the root form of this three word. Okay, but here in a sentence there might be this kinds of scenario where you will be telling playing plays, but if you are trying to replace it with the root form, okay, like if you are able to like replace with the root form like play, okay, then your model will understand. Okay, so we are trying to do like you can say express the play. Okay, so then actually your for your model it will be easy to understand your language what you are trying to say. But if I pass like play, playing, plays, so like in future like it would be like more confused. Okay, so you are giving multiple things. Okay, but although they are meaning the same, right? So that's why we do the lemmatization. So lemmatization help us to actually like bring back this root form. Okay, so it help us to like you can say make it as a root form. Okay, that's why we use lemmatization. Now we have some advanced processing step. We told you advanced pre-processing. So in advanced pre-processing, when you use advanced pre-processing, okay, because basic pre-processing I have already shown you that you will working like you can say visually, okay, in your problem. Then, but if I talk about the advanced pre-processing, okay, so advanced pre-processing you don't use like everywhere. Okay, you use just whenever you are working kinds of hard problem. Suppose I had shown you like a graph. Remember, like this is the graph. Let me show you again. Here. Yeah, so this is the graph. You can see there are some problem like it is like very hard. Okay, like for creating these kinds of conversational agents, machine translation, question answering. Okay, these are some hard problem statement. So whenever you are creating this kinds of hard problem statement, and at that time you need to follow this kinds of advanced processing step. Okay, so in advanced processing step, what we have parts of speech tagging, then we have parsing. Okay, and we have co-resolution, sorry, co-reference resolution. Okay, so co-reference resolution means suppose there is a sentence. Okay, suppose suppose anything like Alex plays football. Okay, and he's very good on that. Okay, so who is very good on that? So here Alex and he, these two are same guy, right? These two are same guy. This is like Alex only. Okay, so we call it co-reference resolution. Okay, so your machine would be able to understand this. He means like Alex. Okay, okay, so that's why this co-reference resolution is important. So whenever you are trying to create this kinds of application, so let me show you, like conversational agent, machine translation, question answering system. Okay, it should be able to understand each and everything. Okay, whatever you are telling. Okay, so that's why we apply this kinds of advanced processing step. So now let's talk about like what is parts of speech tagging. Okay, so there is a graph actually I had referred from somewhere. If I show you that one, yeah. So this is the example of this parts of speech tagging. So if I do the sliding, just a minute. Yeah. So see, parts of speech tagging means suppose you are trying to define all the you can say parts of your words. Okay, suppose so this is the actually example. Let's pick up tokenization with lemmatization. Like Chaplin. Chaplin is a name, right? Okay. So what is this right? Right is a verb. Okay, it is a name, noun, verb. Then directed, it is also verb. Okay. So that's how actually you are trying to define all the actually parts of speech. Okay, I think you know what is parts of speech. Okay, like that's why you call it parts of speech tagging. Okay, we are tagging all the parts of speech. Okay, like this is the sentence and this is all the parts. Okay, all the parts we are defining using the verb like noun. Then we have objects. Okay, so that your machine can know what is the flow of your sentence, what is the context of your sentence. Okay, so that's why we do this parts of speech tagging. Okay, now here if you see we are applying tokenization and lemmatization here. So I told you what is lemmatization. Suppose this is the words. It's like root. So if you bring it to the root form, what it will do? It will just write right, because right is a root form, right? Then again you have something called composed. Composed is a like verb to, like second verb form, but you want to bring it to root form. So that's why you have compose. Okay, so you are applying lemmatization here. And tokenization means, suppose this is the sentence, you are creating as a token. So see, this is the token. Supplement is a token, words is a token, direct is a token, and is a token, compose is a token. You are creating token by token. Okay, I will show you the example later on. And this is the co-reference resolution. So Chaplin wrote, directed, and composed the music for the for most of his films. Okay, so here Chaplin and his, these two are like mentioning the same name. Okay, so we call it co-reference resolution. Okay, so these are the pre-processing steps you need to learn. Okay, then if you are deep diving into it, then you will be able to create a good actually AI system, good actually NLP system. Okay, otherwise actually it's hard. Okay, for getting any kinds of this kinds of difficulty application. Okay, so that's why I already told you the difficulty level of any kinds of application whenever you are trying to build. And with respect to that, I have also told you what are the advanced processing steps you have. Okay, it is not necessary to apply all the processing steps. Okay, in a one application. So if you feel like, yeah, this is the hard application, we need this kinds of processing step, you can apply. Otherwise, you can just close with the basic processing step as I have shown you. Like you can apply this stop word remover, then you can steaming, removable punctuation, then lower casing operation, language detection, lemmatization. Okay, sentence tokenization, word tokenization, then basics of like you can say remove HTML tag, removing emoji, then you can say spelling correction. These are some basics of pre-processing step you can apply from your side. Okay, so that will give you the good results. So now we have completed this like data preparation. Okay, data preparation is done. So after data preparation, what we had? Okay, let's see. Here actually, data preparation is done. Now we have feature engineering. So what is feature engineering? Now let's understand. So feature engineering, let's try to take next. Okay. So now let's do pen. So now let's understand feature engineering. Feature engineering. Okay. So inside feature engineering, you have text vectorization, text vectorization. You have bag of words. Then you have EF, IDF. This is another technique of this feature engineering. Okay, and you have encoding technique. Encoding technique. So we use these kinds of feature engineering for text representation. Text representation. Okay, text representation. So what is text representation means? Suppose this is a text like I am Bappy. Okay. Now if I want to represent this text as number, so what I need to do now, I can consider suppose I as 2, am as 3, 4, Bappy as 4. Okay. So suppose if I am assigning like that, so I can tell, yeah, I know if it is 2, that means it is representing I. If it is 3, that is representing am. If it is 4, this is representing Bappy. But how about my model? Okay, how about my model will get to know? Okay, this is the number. Okay, it is representing that text. Okay, so that's why this feature engineering comes into picture. What we do, we just try to apply some of the technique, like we have text vectorization, we have bag of words, we have TF-IDF, we have encoding technique, we have word to vec technique. Okay, we just try to convert our text to the vectors. Okay, text to vectors. I think you all know what is vectors. Okay, text is your raw text, vector is a number. Okay, so this is the task of this feature engineering. So I will show you some of the technique, like I will show you the one-hot encoding, this bag of words, then TF-IDF. Okay, these are the thing I will show you. Okay, so that like you can at least if you have any kinds of text data, you can convert this kinds of text to the number form, and you can pass it to your model. So if you are not converting this kinds of text to the number, so what will happen? I already discussed, like algorithm is, and then it's a kinds of, you can say, mathematical equation. So you can't pass actually this kinds of raw text to your algorithm. Okay, if you are passing, then your algorithm will throw an error, like I'm not able to understand what you are giving me, right? But if you are passing as a number, then your algorithm will start working. Okay, and it should actually know, okay, how you are passing your data. It is like representing your context or not. Suppose this is the context I'm following. I'm Bappy. Okay, so it is like, see, it is a flow it is following. Like if I talk like Bappy, am I? So would you be able to understand, like in a good way? No, you won't be able to understand. But there is a flow actually. Speaking, there is a speaking flow. I'm Bappy, so you are able to easily understand. But if I talk Bappy, am I? So it would be like, you can say, kinds of confusing. What I'm trying to say, right? So that's why whenever you are trying to represent your number, that should also follow the contextual meaning. Okay, like that should also follow the, you can say, the meaning of your, like you can say, sentence. Okay, otherwise your model will fail. Okay, so it will work for basic cases. Suppose if we do this kinds of bag of words and modern encoding, okay, then counter vectorizer, if we apply, so it will try to, you can say, convert your number randomly, but it will try to at least learn. But if I talk about this case of hard application, okay, like chatbot building, then conversational agents, okay, then you can say information retrieval, question answering system, it will actually fail, because this system actually requires the context of your meaning. Okay, so that's why there are advanced, you can say, feature engineering technique also. Like this is the advanced technique. Like we have this TF-IDF, like term frequency and ID frequency. Okay, we call it, and we have another thing called word to bake. Word to bake. Okay, this is another technique broadly used inside NLP section. Okay, word to bake technique. And this is like vectorization, then encoding, bag of words. This is the basic thing. Okay, whenever we are applying in some machine learning algorithm, how we can use this kinds of technique. Okay, so this was all about like our feature engineering. Okay, so now let's talk about other section we have. Like after feature engineering, like after converting the text into number, we need to do the modeling, because what we have done, we have collected the data, we have prepared the text, like we have done the cleaning operation, like is there any HTML tags we have already cleaned. Suppose we have done some basic processing step, which is required, we have also applied the advanced processing steps. Okay, then we have done the feature engineering. Feature engineering means, suppose you have the raw text, you need to convert to the number, so we have already done it. Then you need to do the modeling. Modeling is you need to send your data to the model right now. Okay, so now let's discuss, okay, what are the things we have now. So I will take a new file. So now the second step is like, sorry, it is like our third step. Okay, third step, modeling. Okay. So in modeling, I have already discussed we have heuristic approach. Okay, like manual, or you can say just rule based. Okay, then we have ML algorithm. Okay, I have already discussed some ML algorithm, like we have lake bias. Okay, then we have random forest. Then we have hidden Markov model. Okay, now we have DL approaches also, like deep learning approaches. Okay, deep learning approach. If I talk about. Okay, deep learning approach, or either you can use actually cloud approach. Okay, cloud API. Okay, so what is cloud API? Suppose there are some cloud API, so they have trained their model already, and they have given as a API. So if you hit that API, so it will give the response. Suppose you want to do a classification, like text classification, document classification. Suppose you want to classify a movie review. Suppose you are in a movie, user given rating, it's like positive review or negative review. You want to identify. So you just have to give the text it will automatically, if you process the text, it will do the prediction and it will give you the answer, like it's a positive review or it's a negative review. So you have like cloud, AWS, you have GCP, then you have Azure, okay, or you have OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI. So let me show you OpenAI again. I have already shown you, I guess. So these are some example I have shown you. Let me close it. Yeah. So chatbot example I have shown you. So see, this is the model actually running on their website. Okay, this is the OpenAI website, and this is the model they are actually serving as API. So whenever I am giving any text, it is just try to hit their API. It is giving the response and it is like show the, like you can say, output here. Okay, so let's take another example from here. So OpenAI. Suppose if I want to do, suppose let's do it grammar correction. Okay, grammar correction. So if you want to do the grammar correction, so this is the code for that. They have directly given. Okay, first of all, you need to generate the API key. So if you have the account, you can easily generate the API key. After generating the API key, this is the code you just need to copy. Okay, and if you just paste it, so it will do your, you can say, spelling correction. And if you want to play with it, just open it in a playground. Okay, open in playground. So you can also create the account in OpenAI. Okay, so just search www.openai.com. There actually you can first of all make a request. Okay, so then after accepting, you can actually get access of the dashboard. So see, this is the spelling correction actually playground. So what I will do, I will give some wrong text here. Suppose hello, my is, okay. So if I just submit, okay, we have a, okay, grammar correction. It is generating text also. I think it is grammar correction with text generation, I guess. Okay, let's see again. Hello. It is also generating text. If you see, if I write hello here, hello. Okay, if I just wait for some time, if I submit it, so see, I have a new by in Python. I'm trying to create a program that will ask user to input a number, and then program will print a see. It is just trying to generate the text also, and the text it is generating, it's also trying to correct the grammar. Okay, grammatical, I mean spelling correction is also doing. Okay, so this is the API actually. This kinds of API you can directly use instead of creating your own model. But if you can see using their API, actually you need to pay for that. So this is like more costly. But if you are creating your own, you can say this kinds of model. Okay, so you are reducing the cost at time. Okay, so that's why actually people try with their custom approach first of all. If it's like too hard, then they try to go for this kinds of cloud API and all. Okay, so this was the example of this cloud API. Now this was like modeling. We have trained our model. Suppose now we have trained our model. Now we need to evaluate our model. Okay, so evaluate means suppose we need to check like how my model is performing. Okay, if it is performing good or bad. Okay, so there are some approaches. Okay, we'll follow. Let's see evaluation part. Yeah, so let's pick my pen. Okay, so now next step was evaluation. Okay, evaluation. In evaluation, actually, we have two kinds of evaluation. One is like intrinsic, and another is like extrinsic. Okay, intrinsic and extrinsic. We have two kinds of evaluation. So, what is intrinsic means? Intrinsic means suppose after training the model. Okay, suppose we have trained the model. We do some kinds of actually metrics actually evaluation. Suppose we calculate the accuracy score. Then we check like you can say precision recall. Okay, precision recall. So there are lots of actually accuracy metrics you will find. Okay, so if I name some of them, so I think I have some of the names of the- Okay, so you have accuracy score, precision recall. You have this, you can say, average precision. Okay, then MAP, mean average precision, MAP. Okay, so these are some metrics okay, you have. So it depends upon the problem statement you are picking. Okay, so if you are doing kinds of classification like document classification, there actually you are trying to classify like this is a positive or negative. Okay, so here you can see this is a class kinds of thing. So you can apply accuracy score here or precision recall F1 score here. Okay, but if you are creating chatbot or you can say question answering system or you can say machine translation. So for that there are different actually you can say metrics. Okay, if you search on Google like NLP evaluation metrics, you will get tons of actual metrics. Okay, so all of them you don't have to learn, but at least whatever application you are trying to build, suppose you are creating chatbots. Okay, just search chatbot evaluation metrics. Okay, you will get the metrics with the equation with the code also. Just try to see what it is explaining. I mean how it is like performing and how it is like evaluation doing the evaluation of your problem statement. Okay, then this was like intrinsic actually evaluation. So after creating the model, we do this kind of evaluation. Okay, this is the task of the NLP engineer. NLP engineer. Okay, but there is another like extensive. Okay, extensive. Suppose after deployment. Okay, after deployment. Okay, after deployment. Suppose you have deployed. Suppose kinds of say this is the deployment. Okay, this is the playground I have already shown. This is deployed. Okay, now if I observe like this model is not performing well. Okay, so what I will do, I will consider there is some issue. Okay, so we call it extrinsic actually evaluation. Again we will actually update our model. Okay, then again we deploy that model. I think you all use this Google keyboard. Okay, Google keyboard in your phone. So suppose when Google actually launch their product, so they do this actually intrinsic evaluation and extrinsic evaluation. But how they are doing intrinsic evaluation, they are doing by their engineers. Okay, then they are launching the products in the you can say cloud. So we are using their products. Now if we feel like this we are not getting like correct suggestion, okay, then what we will do, we will switch to another keyboard. Okay, so then Google will like no, okay, they are not liking our products because there are some issue with our products because it is not able to suggest the correct words, okay, to the user. So what they will do, they will again retrain their model, again check their intrinsic metrics. Okay, if it is performing good, again they will actually host that application, and again they will take the feedback from users. Okay, like how they are using their product. If it is like good, then they will be telling, okay, yeah, now it is performing good. Okay, we can say it's a good model. Okay, so that's why actually we do extensive actually evaluation. Okay, so these two kinds of evaluation we have usually. We always need to remember, because after intrinsic actually evaluation, we don't have to like you can say wait because after deployment actually we need to check how our model is performing to the users. Okay, user perspective. If it is performing good, then we can consider this model is performing. Otherwise, it is not performing. Suppose you have created a chatbot. After checking, okay, like you have checked your model is performing good, but whenever you will host the chatbot, okay, and I will be using your chatbot. If I not get proper answer, okay, I won't be using your product. Okay, then you will get to know, okay, this is not performing good. Okay, we need to upgrade the chatbot again. Okay, so that's actually you do this extensive, you can say evaluation. Okay, so this was like this kind of two evaluation we had. Now what we have at the last, we have deployment. Okay, so deployment wise, it is nothing. You have to just deploy your model to the cloud platform. Okay, to the cloud platform. Like this is the cloud. Just take any cloud. You have this AWS cloud. You have this Azure cloud. You have this GCP cloud. You have Heroku also. Heroku is like free. You can use. You will get around 500 MB space. Okay, then you can host your application. At the last of this, session, I will show you like how to host any kinds of application. Okay, to the Heroku, and I will share with you so you can also use that application. Okay, then this is actually the deployment part. Okay, so deployment, why you do actually after creating any kinds of product, you create the product because to other people. Okay, other people can use your product. So that's why actually you create this kinds of you host this kinds of application. Okay, so that I can use your product. Okay, so this is the thing actually you do. Okay, so that's why we call it deployment. So after deployment, what we have monitoring and model updating. So monitoring wise, see, after deploying your model, you need to monitor your model. Suppose, see, this is the API they have launched. Okay, so now I'm actually writing these are the thing. Okay, like I'm checking like it is I'm generating some kinds of text, but this OpenAI guy actually they're monitoring this kinds of activity. Okay, like this model is performing good or not. Okay, what kinds of actually error it is coming. They're tracking each and everything. If it is not performing good, what they will do? They will again retrain the model. Okay, retrain means again they will add some new data. Suppose if I give some new data here. Okay, suppose if I enter some new data, this data model hasn't seen yet. So what they will do? They will save this information in their database and they will again train their model. So that later on, whenever I will be or you will be asking this kinds of question, your model should be able to give the answer. Okay, that's why we create actually generalized AI. So that's why we call it generalized AI. Okay, so I think now you all have the understood. Okay, like what is the basics pipeline of the NLP application. Okay, like from this data acquisition to this data preparation. Sorry, model monitoring and updating. Okay, so now we'll be doing some hands-on. Okay, before that, I will be taking some of the questions from you guys. Okay, so if you have any questions, so you can ask me. Okay, so you can ask one by one. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Bappy. Guys, if you have any question, you can ask from Bappy now.
I think no one has any question. Okay, then I think we can continue with our practical session then. Okay. Okay. So now let's do some of the hands-on. So for that, I will open my notebook. Just a minute. First of all, we'll be doing some pre-processing stuff. Okay. So what are the pre-processing stuff we have learned till now? Like text cleaning and this tokenization and all. Okay, we'll be seeing like how to do that and what is the library to use. Okay, I think my notebook is visible. This text pre-processing, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. So I'll be sharing these kinds of resources, okay, to you all. Okay, you don't have to worry. But as of now, what are the things we have learned? Okay, like we have seen like some basic pre-processing step, like how to do lower casing operation, and how to do like if I have HTML tags in the text, okay, how to clear that. Okay, so we'll be seeing in the practical. Okay, so for that I will be using this IMDb dataset of almost 50K movie reviews dataset. Okay, so this is the data. If you just click on the link, so actually I have took this data from the Kaggle. Okay, so this is IMDb movie review dataset. Okay, so I will be using that dataset only. So first of all, I will be you can say connecting with my Google Drive. Let's do that. So I will run the first cell. Here I'm not going to explain the code. I think I'm expecting you know this Python programming, okay? Because that should be the minimum requirement from your side. So this is the data set, guys. You can see this is IMDb data set, review data set. So this is the review actually, and this is the review, and this is the sentiment. Like it is a positive sentiments or negative sentiments. Okay. So this is the data set we'll be using. So first of all, I've connected my you can say drive with this collab because if you see in my drive actually I have kept all the file. So this is my drive, and here actually I have the data. So I have downloaded this data and kept this data folder. Okay, IMDb dataset CSV. So here actually I have connected, and this is the path. Okay, if you see this is the path. If I refresh, so this is my drive, and here actually I have connected my data. Okay, so now let's run it one by one. So I'll be reading the data first of all. See the shape of the data. See, this is 50,000. Okay, and row, I mean column is like 2 column. One is review, one is like sentiment. Okay, so for this quick purpose, I will take just 1,000 examples because if I take 50,000 examples, so it will take time to load the data. Okay, so that it will take time. So that I will just take 1,000 examples and I will show the example. I mean, demo. Okay, so now let's see the demo. I mean, our data set, right? Like how it's look like. So this is the data set we have. Now I have discussed like lower casing operation, I think in the pre-processing stage. Okay, so how to do the lower casing? So there are many ways you can do the lower casing. So this is the data first of all, let's say. This is the data. Okay, this is the data. So you can see there are some of the sentences, words it will contain uppercase. Okay, like basically B is like uppercase. So there is a Python function called str.lower. Okay, if you just apply that on the whole data set, it will convert to the lowercase. See, it has converted all the data set to the lowercase. So if I show you the first data, see the one O was like uppercase. Okay, after applying the lower, it has converted to the lowercase. Okay, so that's how you can do the lowercase operation. Now see the HTML like tags removal. Okay, suppose this is the text, and there are some HTML tags like HTML body p. Okay, I think you know this kinds of tag whenever you write HTML code and now. Okay, so if you open any kinds of website, suppose if I open this website, suppose page like source review. So see, this is the HTML tag. Okay, and in there actually I have the text. Okay, like relevant text. So I can actually ignore this kinds of HTML. I can handle this kinds of HTML tags. Okay, how? So this is the function I have written. I am using regular expression RE. Okay, from this regular expression, this is the pattern. So I'm removing all these kinds of symbols and all. Okay, and after that I'm just returning my raw text. Okay, so now if I run this, this is the input I'm giving to this function. Okay, so if you see these are containing some HTML tags. Now if I run it, now I'm calling my function remove HTML tags, and inside I'm passing my text. Now if I run it, so see it will give me the actually actual text. See, yeah. So this is the actual text. Okay, and this is the actual text. Okay, so it is just given. See, maybe one actor Amir Khan clicked here to down. Okay, so from this HTML tags, I extracted my relevant text information. Okay, so that's why we call it remove HTML tags. So whenever you are collecting your data, if it contains any kinds of HTML tags, okay, so you can easily handle these kinds of tags. Okay, this is the code. I will share this notebook with you. So whenever you are creating any kinds of product, okay, you can easily, I mean, directly refer this kinds of code. Okay, because this function will remain same for everybody. What you need to do, you need to pass this function to your data dust. Okay, so it will do your job. So now let's see. This is my data frame. So I will pass one by one. I will apply this remove text tags, okay, to my data set. Now if I show you, okay, so now see there are no HTML tags in the data set. Okay, now remove URL. Okay, so if I want to remove any kinds of URL from my data set, now what I can do? Okay, so this is the function remove URL, and this is the pattern. Here I am also using regular expression. Okay, let's run it. And this is my text, but I just only need this text. Okay, this text. Okay, and this portion I just want to ignore, like www.youtube.com/DSwithBappy. So what I can do, this is my function, this is my pattern. Okay, so if I run it, and if I pass this text to my suppose the fourth number of text I will be giving, like for data click from kaggle.com. If I just click on that, so see, now I'm getting this portion of text, but it is ignoring the URL. See, that's how actually you can use regular expression for actually doing your data processing handling. Okay, now let's see the punctuation handling. What is punctuation? So I will be showing you what is punctuation. If I run that code, so see, this is the punctuation you have. Okay, so see, you have exclamation mark, you have hash, you have like you can say bracket, class icon, full stop, comma, equal. Okay, all are punctuation. So you can easily handle this punctuation. So this is the code for that. Remove punctuation function. It is just take your text and it will remove the punctuation. Okay, so let's run it. So see, this is the text I'm giving, and in the text actually it is containing some punctuation. See, full stop and question symbol. Okay, now if I just give the text. Okay, so see, it is just ignoring this kinds of full stop and question mark. Okay, see, string with punctuation. Okay, it is giving like you can say plain text. So there another approach you can follow like text.translate. You can also do, which will also handle your punctuation. Okay, let's run it. Okay, so this is the function. I will pass my word data. So see, it has removed all the punctuation. You see, this is my raw data. After giving the punctuation, see, it is also ignoring the comma. So see, there is no comma, and that's how actually see slash and everything. It is just trying to ignore it. Okay, now I have the clean data. Okay, now this clean data actually you can do tokenization, vectorization, you can do anything. Okay, because this kinds of punctuation will actually confuse your model. Okay, so better you just clean this kinds of punctuation. So what I will recommend after finishing this session, just try to run this notebook, okay, from your side, so you'll get the idea like how it is working. Okay, now chat conversation handle. So I think this is actually very, if I talk about very useful thing, okay, whenever you're creating chatbot, because chat what we do, we always follow shortcut. You can say words. Okay, suppose we want to write as soon as possible. So what do we write? We write ASAP. Okay, away from keyboard, we write, we can say AFK. Then as far as I know, AFAIK. Okay, so this kinds of short words we use. Okay, whenever we do chat each other. So in chatbot, actually, this kinds of conversation you need to handle. How you can handle? You can make a chat words. Okay, like this is the short words. This is the full words. You can make a dictionary and you can map them. Okay, after mapping them, there is a function you need to write. This same function you can use chat conversation. So this function you just need to pass your chat. Okay, suppose here I pass do this word ASAP. Okay, see here I am using shortcut actually word like ASAP. Now if I run it, so you will see like it will convert as soon as possible. See, do this word as soon as possible. Although I passed ASAP. Okay, so that's why you can manage this kinds of actually chat bots also. Okay, whenever you are creating this kind of chat person. Okay, now you can also handle incorrect text. Okay, so suppose there is a incorrect text you are passing. So let's do that. So this is the incorrect text. See, certain is like spelling is wrong. Condition spelling is wrong. Okay, then drilling spelling is wrong. So there are many spelling I have made wrong. Okay, now after running this text block, so this text block is a library you can use, and text block inside there is a function called correct. Okay, if you just do that, so it will correct your words. See, all the word has been corrected. Okay, now we have stop words actually. So you can use NLTK, that means Natural Language Toolkit. Okay, this is the library, Natural Language Toolkit, NLTK we call. You need to first of all download the stop words. So these are the actually stop words you have. Stop words means suppose these words actually contains no meaning, okay, in a sentence. See, but it try to form your sentence. Okay, like I, me, my, myself, our, then yourself, you. Okay, these are stop words. You can remove them. Every language contains their own stop words. Okay, suppose there is a sentence like you can say. Hindi language. So there are also stop words. In English language, this is the stop words. In Bangla language, okay, there are stop words. So you can find all the stop words if you search on Google like Hindi stop words. You will get that easily. Okay. So whenever you are working any kinds of language, you need to follow this kinds of thing. Then this is the function remove stop words. So if I pass my text here, so here actually my is stop words, then A is stop words. So after running this function, so you will notice like these are missing actually. Like if you see the output, see. Y is not there, A is not there. Okay, only I have the root information. Okay, root information I have, but to a my this has been actually removed because I don't want this kind of stop words in my sentence. Okay, because if I want to build an kind of classification system, so I don't want this kind of, you can say, stop words. But if I want to create any chatbots and information retrieval system, so this is actually meaningful because this actually will contain some of the meaning. Okay, so that our model can learn very easily. Okay, so now apply this kind of stop words to all about my data. If I do df.review and apply these stop words, so it will try to take all the rows and it will try to apply the stop words. Let's see. After that, you have remove emoji handler. Okay, like emoji handle, how to handle emoji. If you have an emoji in a text, so how to handle that. So this is the function I have written, like remove emoji. So see, every emoji has there, you can say, binary number. Okay, like encoding number. So this encoding number actually you can remove. Okay, suppose this is the sentence I'm giving. Not the movie. It was there is a like emoji I'm passing. So now if I run that, we call that function. So see, it will only contain, it will only take this actually raw text. Okay, and this emoji actually is removed. Okay, this emoji is removed. See, but if you want, you can keep those emoji meaning also. Okay, how? There is a package called emoji. Install emoji. You can install emoji in YouTube. And here actually I'm passing Python is fire. Okay, so fire icon I'm giving. Now if I run it, so see, Python is fire. This is printing as a text. That's how you can handle emoji also. Okay, you can either remove the emoji, either you can keep the meaning of the emoji. See, face going at this. Okay, so see, face going at this, and fire, it is just also. Okay, that's how you can do that. Now let's see the tokenization. Okay, tokenization means token means this is a sentence. Okay, you need to make as a token. So what does it mean of token? Suppose if I run it, you can also use the split function. So now you can see I is a separate token, M is a separate token, going is a separate token, 2 is a separate token, Delhi is a separate token. See, I am going to Delhi, but now they are separate token, right? Now there is, I mean, like that you can do the sentence tokenization also. So here, how this tokenization has been done using the space. Okay. Now, if you want to do sentence tokenization, there is a dot you can see. Every sentence will contain like the full stop. Okay, so you can use this full stop to do the sentence tokenization. Now, if you see, I am going to Delhi. This is a one sentence. Then I will stay there for 3 days. This is another sentence, and hope the trip to be great. See, this is the another sentence. Okay, that's how you can do sentence tokenization. It differs from problem to problem statement. Suppose if you want to do sentence tokenization, you need to do sentence tokenization. If you want to do the word tokenization, you need to do the word tokenization. Okay, it depends upon the problem statement you want to solve. Okay, now these are some actually approach you can follow. That's that. See, it is trying to actually tokenize your sentence and word. You can also use the regular expression. So there is a function called find all, and see, you do the compile. See, it is also doing the sentence tokenization. It is also doing the word tokenization. And you have NLTK. Okay, just write it. See, NLTK has word tokenized function. So see word tokenized function. If you just pass your text to word tokenize, it will do the word tokenization. And if you want to do the sentence tokenization, this is the code for that. See, this is doing the sentence tokenization. Now there is another sentence. See, it is also doing word tokenization. And let's run it again. Sentence 6 I'm passing. See, it is doing word tokenization. Okay. Now Spacey, there is another library called Spacey. Apart from this NLTK, okay, Spacey you can use. It is good for like this kinds of data cleaning operation because Spacey is like you can say I consider like it's more powerful than this NLTK. Okay, so although these are hard-coded algorithm they are using in the backend, but it's like quite good. Okay, if you are doing this kind of process. Okay, so now let's run it one by one. You see, it is also doing this kind of optimization. Okay. Then schema and lemmatization are same. I have already told you what is lemmatization. Suppose there is a word for playing place, so it will just try to bring up the root form, which is play. Okay. So now let's see the example. See, I'm passing work, works, working, work. Okay. It is just giving root form. Work. Okay. This is the same thing. Now you have lemmatization. Lemmatization will do the same thing, but I will recommend whenever you are doing this kinds of text preposition, just try to use lemmatization instead of this schema. Okay, because schema you will consider some of the text actually, some of the words actually will be like different meanings. Suppose say there is a movie, movie is disappeared. Okay, but although it will try to understand this is meaning of movie, but you won't be understand like this is a movie. Okay, but in lemmatization actually will get this kind of information. Suppose see this is the lemmatization. Okay, what lemmatization. Okay, is that the thing? So yeah, so this is the actually the processing step you need to follow so far. Whenever you are trying to solve any kinds of problem. Okay, this is the common actually processing step. Okay, I have listed down each and everything for your reference so that whenever you are getting any kinds of projects, okay, you can follow this template. Okay, so that was our pre-processing. Now let's deep dive into this one, which is text representation, our feature engineering. Okay, so I will open this text representation because now I have actually cleaned my data set. Now if we see data is clean, now this data actually I need to you can say make it as a number. Okay, because it is a text data set now. I need to convert it to the number. Okay, so then this text representation comes into picture. So we have bag of words, we have n-grams, then we have TF-IDF. This is three actually mostly used from okay in our NLP application. So that's why I have listed down. But before that, you need to like you can say remember some of the terms, which is corpus, vocabulary, documents, and words. Okay. So what is this corpus, vocabulary, documents, and words? Let's see. So first of all, let's run this code one by one. But before that, I will end the session because this is the first session this is running. Now I will start running. Then here actually I'm creating a dummy data set. Okay, like people watch DSwithBappy. This is my YouTube channel name actually. DSwithBappy watch DSwithBappy. Okay, people write comments. DSwith write comments. Okay, so this is the dummy data I'm creating. So this is the data set you can see, and this is the output. Some of the output I've given. Okay, so now what is corpus? Okay, corpus is nothing but if you just try to add each and every rows. Okay, now you can say like one by one. If you add like this is the first rows we have added. Like with the second rows. Okay, so we will add every words and every records. Okay, so you will get a big corpus. Because if you combine all the data set together, you will get a corpus. Okay, we call it corpus. And what is vocabulary? Vocabulary is nothing but unique words. Okay, presented in this data. Suppose people is unique words. Watch is the unique words. DSwithBappy is unique words. Okay, so number of unique words we call it vocabulary. Okay, what is documents? Documents means this is one rows. Okay, like this is the whole data set, and from this whole data set, one record is like one documents. Okay, so this is the documents and words. Okay, what is words? I think you know. This is the words. This is the words. Okay, this is the words. Okay, we call it words. So now let's do this. I can say text representation. So first of all, we apply the bag of word. Okay, what is bag of word? So this is the data, and here I am calling from sklearn counter vectorizer. Okay, it will count actually your what you call like words. Okay, now words, how many times it is coming. Okay, so if you just apply bag of words, okay, see, don't consider it is counting. It is just trying to give an index. Okay, index of this like you can say words. Suppose comments is the first index, then DSwithBappy, then people, then watch, then write. Okay, so this is the numbers it is given. Okay, now if I do this like this is the objects like last objects we got. Now if we do the two array operation, so see this is the text representation. This is representing my this text. People watch DSwithBappy. How? Now if we see which is like first one like comments. Comments is there in this line. No, that's why it is 0. Then in the second thing, what we have you can say DSwithBappy. Okay, DSwithBappy. Can you see at the first position? Yeah, it is there. See, DSwithBappy. So that's why it is 1. Then second, what is like people? People is there. Yeah, it is there. That's why it is 1. Okay. Then you have 3. What is there? Yeah, it is there. That's why there is 1. Okay. Now if you see what was the last? Right. Right is there? No, right is not there. That's why it's 0. That's why then it is picking up second, records, and it's trying to figure out like comments. The first one, index first. Okay, like comments is there? No, it's not there. It is giving 0. Now if you see like one DSwithBappy, yeah, this is Bappy there. How many times? 2 times. Okay, see, it is giving 2. Okay, then again, like if you see number 2, people is not there. It is giving 0. Then after people, what we have? We have what? Yeah, it is there. So that's why it's giving, and it is 1 time. And if you see at last, it has this right. Okay, right is not there. That's why it's giving 0. Okay, that's why it's just representing your text as a number. Okay, now if I pass that number to my model, our model will understand. Okay, this is the meaning. Okay, like people watch using puppy. This is the number is representing, and that we call it as a vector. Okay, we call it as vector. Okay, now let's run it. Now if I give it a text data, see, it is also giving the vector. Okay, that vector will pass to our model. Our model will do the prediction. Okay, now similar wise we have n-gram. N-gram is nothing but we use counter vectorizer only, but we define some of the parameter like n-gram length. Okay, n-gram length means suppose let me see. Let's run it. Now print it. Now before, like previous one, if you see, that was the bag of words. So the bag of words, like we had single words only. People watch, yes, in copyright comments. But in n-gram section, we can define how many words we want. Suppose people watch. Now it has combined people watch together, then watch DSwithBappy together, then DSwithBappy watch together, then people write. Okay, together, comments write together. That's how. If you give 3, so what it will do? It will like construct the sentence like that. People watch DSwithBappy, then watch people DSwithBappy. That's how actually it will construct the sentence. Okay, and the same thing whatever I have explained, it is doing like that. It is giving the vector. This is the vector output you are getting. Okay, this vector actually you need to pass your model, and this is actually advanced technique like TF-IDF, from frequency and inverse document frequency. Okay, for that actually there is a actually big lecture on this TF-IDF. Okay, because in this session actually it is not possible to cover this TF-IDF because it will take time. Okay, because TF-IDF is a big concept. If you want to understand, I will give you some of the resources at the end of the session. Okay, you can follow that. But I will just give you some of the high level idea. So this TF-IDF actually it's a kind of algorithm. Okay, so if you see TF-IDF vectorizers, if you just import this from Sklan, and this is the data you are giving. So after data, see, it is just trying to vectorize your text. Okay, but it's like you can say float value. How this value is coming? This is a kind of probability value is giving, right? So for understanding this algorithm, okay, you need to go through the lecture of this TF-IDF. Okay, there are lots of lectures you will find over the internet. You can follow. Either I will give you some of the example, like some of the resources, so that you can go ahead. But then you need to remember TF-IDF is the process of the converting text into number. Okay, so we use this like to convert our text into number. Okay, and it is much better than this bag of words and n-grams. Okay, because it has some kinds of meaning information. Okay, and this is the IDF number. What is this IDF number? You will get the idea when you will learn this TF-IDF technique. Okay, so what are the max? Features names we got. So this is the features names we got. Okay, after training the model. So yes, this was all about this text representation. And in previous notebook, I have shown you the text preprocessing step. Okay, so if we know these two things, okay, now we can build a model. Okay, so for an example, I will show you a text classification example. So let me do that. A minute. Okay, so this is the text classification example I will show you. So what are the things I have discussed here till now, like text preprocessing, like learning text, like learning HTML text, and text representation. I will use these are the function inside my text classification. Okay, I think you know what is text classification. It will classify whether this review is a positive or is it's negative review. Okay, I will be using the same data set. I am giving movie data set, and here I will try to classify this ratings is a positive or negative. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, I will connect my notebook with my drive because my data is like inside the data folder in my drive. That's why I need to connect. Let's connect. To Google Drive. allow access. This is my data path I have kept. I'm reading my data. For the just demo purpose, I am taking just 10,000 example from this 50,000 example. Okay, and if you want to see the data set, how it looks like, this is how my data set looks like. You see, this is the review and this is the sentiment. Okay. So I'm taking the first review from the data frame. So this is the first review. They wonder full little production. Okay, blah blah blah. They have written. And if you see the sentiment of this review, so it's like positive. The number of sentiments is positive sentiments you have 5,028, and negative sentiments you have 1,972. Okay, it's almost there. Same. Okay. Now I'm checking, is there any missing value or not? No, there is no missing value. Is there any duplicate value or not? Yeah, there is duplicate value around 70. So what we will do, we'll drop this duplicate value. So there is a function called drop duplicates in this pandas. Okay, you can use that. And this is true. Okay, it will drop the duplicates value. Now if I check duplicate again, so now see there is 0 duplicate value. Okay, basic processing step, what you need to do, tags like HTML tags, the lower casing, and remove stoppers. So these are the things we will be using. And the same function, what are the function I have discussed here? Okay, the same function I'll be using here. Okay, so whenever you are creating any kind of function, you don't have to create it from scratch. You just open the notebook and copy that function and use it for your cases. Okay, I will run it again. I will run it. So it will do the remove tags. Okay, remove tags operation. It will do. Now if I show my data, it will actually handle all the HTML tags. Okay, now there is no HTML tags. Now here actually I have to do the lower casing operation. Okay, it is done. Now I need to handle this stop word. Okay, because I have told you classification purpose stop words are required. Okay, you can easily delete them. Okay, it is throwing error because I need to download the stop words first of all. So, yeah, yeah. Okay, NLP is missing. So I will write. Yeah. Okay. So now it is trying to apply the stop word operation. Okay. So now there is no stop words. Now if I show you the data set, see there is no stop words right now. Is am I everything has been removed. Now if I show you the sentiment, so what I am doing here, I'm just like you can say separating my data. This is my independent variable. That means this is my feature variable. This is my level variable. I think if you know machine learning, so I think you know what does it mean. Like you need to separate your x column, you need to separate your y column. These two columns you need to pass in your model, so that your model will learn using this feature. Okay, and this should be around. So now let's see our x. X should be the review. So this is the all review we have, and y contains our actually feedback. Okay. That's just rating. See positive rating, negative rating we have. Okay. Now level encoder. Why we will be using level encoder? Because these are the text. Okay, text form. We need to convert it to the number. So this is the code for that. If you just pass y here, so it will convert this text to number. See, positive will contain 1, negative will contain 0. Okay. Now your computer will understand. Otherwise, if you give this raw text, okay, it won't be understanding. Now run it. I will be doing the 10 plus split, okay, because before reading the model, we need to keep the test set aside so that we can evaluate the model. Okay. So now this is the trend set, and now I will be applying this bag of words. Okay, whatever technique we have learned is text representation. We used to convert our text to the number. So here actually we are doing the same. I'm applying this counter vectorizer, and let's do that. So this is my review. On top of review, I'm doing that. Now if you see my text data, if I show you the text data, it has been converted to number. Okay. Now if I run it. See, this is converted to the number. Okay. Now this number actually I need to pass to the mobile. So here actually I am using NetBase. Okay, I already told you. First of all, I have to apply the machine learning approach. Then I have to apply the deep learning approach. So here I am applying the machine learning approach, NetBase, because this is the simple problem statement. So NetBase, I'm passing my data like extend and ygen. Okay, and this is get the training right now. Okay, training has been done. Now I need to check the accuracy matrix and confusion matrix. Okay, this is the evaluation stage we are doing. Okay, because after model building, you need to check how your model is performing. See, so your accuracy is like 63%. It is not too good. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to again like do some feature engineering and all. Okay, so then you need to actually increase the size. Okay, increase the accuracy size. So this is the confusion matrix. These are the mistakes it is doing. Okay, you can see. Now let's apply this random first classifier. This is another machine learning algorithm. And after applying this random first classifier, let's see the output. You will notice some of the tweaking actually it will give you the good results, because at the first we are considering all the unique words in our documents, in our corpus, but here we will be considering only 3,000 actually unique words. Okay, sequence words in our actually corpus. Okay, so it will give you the good results. You are going to see. Just wait for it train. Because it's a big corpus. Okay, we have given, and dimension is like very big. See, now your accuracy is like 84%, but previously got 63%. Okay, because we are using NetBase algorithm, but here you have applied random first classifier, because random first classifier is like performing more good here. Okay, now if I take max feature is equal to 3,000, so what will happen? Let's see. See, you got 83%. Okay, so you can select that model, because this model was giving like good results. Okay, that's actually need to visit. We will later and see like how your model is performing. Now let's apply this n-gram. Okay, we have learned this n-gram from this spectral representation. I think n-gram means like you are trying to combine the words together. So let's apply the n-gram, and max feature is equal to 5,000. Let's see the accuracy score. Okay, see, you are getting the same results almost. Okay, it's not actually increasing the results. Now I'll be applying this TF-IDF. Okay, now let's see the results. So I'm initializing this TF-IDF from scalar figure extraction TF-IDF vectorizer. This is the class, and now let's apply on top of my data. So it will give me the vector. This vector I need to pass to my model. Now let's observe the output. Just try to remember, whenever you are doing the fit transform, it will give you the vector. Okay? this vector you need to pass to your model. That's it. And I will recommend, if you want to deep dive inside this TF-IDF and n-grams and this bag of words, just try to search about like TF-IDF, n-grams, bag of words. Okay, there are lots of lecture you can follow in such lecture. Just try to learn one by one topic. So that will help you to understand like in depth. Okay. So this session actually going to like to familiar with you like all these kinds of terms. Okay, all these kinds of actually things, so that you can get to know these are the things that are available inside NLP. Okay, now we have the actually way to explore like give them. I mean inside. Okay, whatever things you want to learn. Okay, because in one session it is not possible to clear all the topic uh, because almost the session has been around 3 hours. Okay, so this session actually, if I take this TF-IDF session, which will take 1.5 hours to complete. Okay, so how big this topic is. Okay, so that's why it's your responsibility to deep dive inside this kinds of different topic. So see, this is the accuracy we are getting. Okay. So now it's up to you, like which model you need to select. Okay, see, you need to see the accuracy score. Based on that, which model is performing good. Okay, you need to select that model only. Okay, and you need to use that model to the production. Okay, so that's actually the evaluation. Okay, so there are lots of evaluation metrics here. I have shown you the accuracy metrics. Because here I was doing the classification task, but for different tasks, you know, different accuracy metrics. Okay, so this thing actually need to keep in your mind. And after deploying this model to the production, you need to see how your model is performing. It is performing good. If user is responding good, okay, then your model is good. Otherwise, you need to retain your model. Okay? So this was like all about this text classification. Okay, that's how actually you need to do the text classification. Text classification is nothing but there is a review. This text is positive or negative. That's how actually you need to figure out. Otherwise, the email is spam or not spam. Okay, it's also classification problem. So this is the same technique you can follow. Okay, just pick up any data set, like you can use say Twitter sentiment data set. Just try to figure out this sentiment is positive or negative using the same step whatever I have shown you. Okay, just follow this once. So now it has been done. Now the last project I want to show you on like chatbot projects. Okay, I just want to give you like the idea like how you can create a chatbot, your own chatbot using deep learning. Okay, it should be a simple chatbot, although, but you will get the idea like yeah, that's how actually you need to build the chatbot. But before that, let's take a 10-minute break because we have discussed a lot. Okay, because I think we are a little bit playing, you can say, trial. Okay, so it will be fine like if we take 10 minutes break. Everyone, hello, are you there?
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
Bappy.
So let's take 5 minutes break or 10 minutes break. Okay, then start finish this chatbot process. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So I'm giving a timer here. 10 minutes timer. Don't leave actually because after 10 minutes we'll be come back again. 10 minutes
Within
time.
10 minutes, guys, you can join
You
for
can
this. Yeah.
have some water and have some food. Okay. Then we'll be joining again.
Okay, okay.
Hello guys, everybody back.
Yes, baby. All of that, you can start.
I think everyone have that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in between, if you have any question until now, so you can ask me because this is going
Yeah,
to be.
I have just one question. When we train the model, when we decide the semantics, it's you have decided like positive and negative for the data set.
Yes.
So according to you, did you get it from the data set itself, or like is there any technique that we can decide that according to scenarios like?
No, see, if I show you, I think my screen is visible to you, right? My screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So see, it is negative or positive actually. I think you know machine learning. Are you familiar with the machine learning, basics of machine learning?
Yeah.
Okay. So in machine learning, what you give actually as a input to your model, you give your x feature and your y feature. That means your input and output. Both you give, right? So this is the input we have, like review is our input. And sentiments is our like you can say output. So sentiment, what is the sentiment? Like here, two kinds of sentiment we have. One is like positive sentiment, one is like negative sentiment. Okay. So we are training this data like review with the sentiments first of all with our model. So once model is able to understand, yeah, this is the pattern. Okay, if this kinds of actually sentence come, so we can consider, yeah, this is a positive sentence. And if this kinds of sentence come, so we can call it negative sentiment. Okay, but we can't give this kinds of raw data to our model because our model is at the end, you can say mathematical equation. So for that we need to convert to a number. So now we are, one is representing to the positive plus. Okay, one is positive plus and 0 representing it's the negative plus. Okay, but your model at the end, like it will get to know, yeah, one is like it is able to like show the positive, and 0 means it is like able to show this negative. Okay, that's why it is tracking the information. So then you are doing the counter vectorizer on your X data. So it will give you the kinds of vector. Okay, this vector you will pass to your Gaussian, we can say night bias or random forest classifier. So it will try to train the model, and after training the model, you need to do the evaluation and check like your y-test and your y-preg. It's like similar to or not. If it is not similar, then you will get less, you can say accuracy score. Otherwise, you will get good accuracy score. Okay, so that's what actually you need to consider. Here, actually, I'm not considering. Here, just I am doing the encoding operation. Encoding, you can do anything. Like here, I am showing multiple way. Na? So if you see representation, you have bag of words, you have n-grams, you have TF-IDF, you have what to make. Okay, so you can apply any of them. So, but they will be output in different way. Okay, so that is the thing here. I think you got it.
I think what I just not much clear about what I asked, like did I got the answer or not? Like what basically I asked, like if you can share the screen again.
Okay, this is the text classification.
Yeah, so they are like the review. So in the DF, so review is we have some of the words there, right? So
Yes,
sentiment is there's positive and negative, both are there at the moment. So yeah, I am asking like at this moment before the encoding, like to decide what is the sentiment for the training set. Like, is there any technique that you have used, or it is coming from the data set itself?
Okay, so
Because when it's in the real world scenario, we can't use like the data set which is processed already. That's why I'm just asking.
Actually, I didn't get your question. Like you are asking, like during training set, how it is get to know what is the positive and negative like training set.
Yeah, how you have decided like the sentiment for the positives? Like imagine
Okay,
like
so,
when we scrape data when.
See here, I think you have understood. We have how we are doing the cleaning operation, like HTML tag removal, then your lower casing operation. I think that thing you got it right.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, what I need to do? I need to do train test split. See, train test split. This is the function. Okay, this is the class actually from the scalar. So if you give in this actually your x and y. So see, this is my x. This is my raw data x and y. It is just trying to give me my training set, x train, x test, y train, y test. Randomly, it is just picking up some of the rows from here. Suppose there are 10 number of rows. It will try to pick up 6 rows for training, 4 rows for testing. Okay, it will randomly select. Okay, and you can also reduce this size also. See, here I am 20% keeping as my testing set, and rest of the 80% I'm keeping in my training set. Okay, but it will be randomly picked up. I don't have to select. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you can write your own function. Okay, you can do the tensor split your own function. But if we have the existing solution, so why will be using this I mean from scratch method, right? So that's why every time you use this tensor split, okay, it will randomly try to select some of the rows from the training, some of the rows from the testing set. Okay, and that thing actually I need to apply the counter vectorizer. Counter vectorizer will give me the vector, and that vector I need to pass to my model. And the test set I'm getting, this test set I will be using for the evaluation matrix. Okay, this number we are getting, accuracy score. See, I'm passing the X test and Y test. Okay, so this is the thing. That's it. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Just relate your machine learning concept here, and then after doing the data conversion to the numerical form, you are applying the machine learning model. That's it. Okay. But here text preprocessing, text handling, this is the main issue inside the NLP task. That is the thing. So now let's start with our you can say chatbot building. Okay, how we can make a chatbot. So for that, I just want to share a GitHub link with you. Okay, I think I have added here. So I have already committed this chatbot. Okay, in my GitHub. So this is the link, and this is my YouTube link also. So you can follow my YouTube also. Here actually I try to upload many projects. Okay, like NLP projects, computer vision projects. And even I'm planning to create a NLP playlist, okay, so that I will be discussing all the algorithm and all. So you can follow that one. Okay, if you subscribe that, so you will get the idea later on if I get any kinds of video and all. Okay, so I will provide this access with you so that you can access all the file. So now let me first of all show you the data, okay, for the chatbot implementation. So what I will do, I will just open my project file, simple chatbot. So before that, I just want to show you the demo of this chatbot. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will just open my VS Code. It's a simple chatbot. If you see the data sets, actually I have taken a very less number of data sets. I just wanted to show you the process, like how to create data and all, because here you will be mostly working in this mental health issue. Okay, so actually that's how actually you need to create the data. I will explain how you need to create the data. Then you will get the idea. Because the more data you will be collecting inside chatbot, the more like your chatbot department. That is the job inside chatbot. I will activate my environment. So now I will run file. So here I have created a simple Flask application, Flask web application, just for show you the demo. Like user can easily use. They can input the text, and if they submit the text, okay, so your chatbot will actually respond some kinds of text. Okay. You can either create a Android application. Okay, either you can create a desktop application, either you can create a website application. It's up to you. Okay, but main thing is to create the model. Okay, and host it as a API. The system has been spoiled. In between, I want to show you one thing. This is another great research actually OpenAI has done. If you have heard of DALI 2, okay, DALI 2 is like algorithm that can actually generate image from your text input. Okay, so let me show you that. So this is the DALI. Okay, so they have hosted. So now if you write something here, suppose you can write anything. Suppose frog is smoking. Frog is smoking. Okay, if you just give the text input, like natural language input, and if you just click on generate, you see, it will try to generate the same image. Okay, like there is a frog that will be smoking. Okay, so it's like instant research OpenAI has done, and they have integrated this natural language processing and computer vision together, and they have made this hybrid model. Okay, so that can actually generate image from the text. So you can do a lots of things actually if you like learning this NLP and computer vision. Yeah, you can do a lots of things. This field are actually very broad. Even I am exploring. I mean, till now, I can't ever finish it. Every day, actually, they are coming up with a new research. So this is the thing. Right. Okay, in between will generate, I will show you the chatbot example. So now see, it is running on my local host. So I will open my local host. 127.0.1. It is running on 5,000. So see, this is the simple chatbot I have created. Now, if you just give anything, I will hide. Okay, so I have actually reached the limit, so that's why which I have just I need to actually try again in 1 hour. Okay, otherwise it will show. But I can see these are actually DALI generated images. So see, this is the prompt: 3D render of cute tropical fish in an aquarium on a dark blue background, dark art. See, it's trying to generate this images. Okay, so that's why actually if you give any kinds of text input, it will try to generate image. Okay, so that's why we call it actually instant research from OpenAI side. Like the thing is like DALI 2. Okay, I had applied for this DALI 2. Okay, they gave me the access for exploring. So it's like good actually. I have created a video on my YouTube channel. You can see like how this value works. Okay, I will share the link also. So now let's close and see the chat. So first of all, if you open the file, you will get the data first of all. So data is like job intents.json. Okay, so this is the data. So whenever you are creating any kinds of chatbots, so how you need to prepare the data? Okay, so data preparation time, you need to follow three things. One is like your QB intent. Intent means like what is your like intent of the chatbot. Okay, so you always should create a chatbot in an intent. Suppose you can create a chatbot in medical domain. You can create a chatbot in sports domain. You don't have to combine multiple things. If you are combining multiple things, then you need to collect a lots of data. Okay, and your model would be like if you want to make a robust model, then you would need a lots of data. Otherwise, if you give less data, your model will confuse for sure. Like your intent is like different. Okay, suppose if you want to use mental domain, like mental healthness domain, so you can use that kinds of data only. Suppose if someone asks, it should tell the jokes kinds of thing. Okay, if someone asks like what is my blood pressure and all. Okay, so you can add this kinds of feature. It's fine, but don't use multiple intent. Otherwise, your model will then get confused. So see, first of all, you need to create a JSON actually file. In the JSON file, the first key will be like intent. Okay, inside intent you will have list of data. Okay, list of data. So the first list which will contain one, you can say a dictionary. I guess one JSON file. Okay, one record. In this one record, first of all, it will contain a tag. So what is the tag? It's greeting tag. So, okay, so when I was giving hi, it was like greeting. I was doing the greeting. Okay, so pattern. Hi there. How are you? Is anyone there? Hey, hola, hello, good day. Hey, eka, hi. Okay, so this is the pattern. This is the input pattern. Okay, it will see by your model. And what it will respond, these are the things it will respond. Like, hi stranger, yes, how can I help you? Hey, what's that? Okay, so see this output here, you saw I guess already. Okay, then hey you again. This is the output it will generate. So your input should be you should give your input to your model, and as a label you should give the tags. Like, what is this input all about? What is the label? The label is the greeting. Then again you have goodbye. Inside goodbye, like how many goodbye you can say? You can add all of them, like bye, see you later, goodbye, okay, bye, bye, bye. Okay, the like possible goodbye you have, possible words you have, you will add everything here. So the more number data you will be adding, the more robust model you will get. Okay, then how your model should give the response? See you, have a nice day, sure, bye, later dear. Okay, this kinds of response you need to give. Okay, so always remember these two years. These two things is your input. Okay, and this is the output from your chatbot side. Okay, so that's how actually I have created some of the intent, like thanks, then no answer. If you give nothing, so it will say sorry, I can't understand. The name, tags, again option, about South Africa. Okay, about you can say South Africa facts. Okay, so that's how I have given so many intents here. So you can add any kinds of intent. Suppose you can add music intent. Suppose if you say like what is this singer name, what is like song name. Okay, you can give any of them. Just try to follow this data structure and try to add your own intent here. Okay, the more intent you will be adding, the more your chatbot will perform good. Okay, so that's how if you are working in medical domain, health domain. Okay, anything. That's why I've given this example. You can add any of them. Okay, so that's actually you need to see. This is the related to South Africa facts. You can add like Sri Lanka facts. You can add Bangladesh facts. Okay, you can add India facts. Anything you can add. Okay, and then you just need to copy from the Google only. See the South Africa facts. South Africa is now only currently. So this is the actually answer. Now this is the answer. Okay, that's actually you need to give the answer also. Okay, so this is like all about your data. After data, now this is your data. Now you need to train a model. Okay, you need to train a model. For that, there is a notebook file I have provided. You can see here actually project section. Inside project section, there is a chatbot training notebook. So let's first of all select the GPU, because this is a deep learning model will be using. So for that I will be select GPU for the training. So change runtime time. I have already selected GPU. Okay, so you have to also select GPU. Otherwise, your model training will be like very slow. Then I will be checking which GPU I got actually. Mostly, I will get Tesla T4. Yeah, I got Tesla T4. Now I will be mounting my drive to my collab because all the file I have, my data, everything inside this. If you see here, data is like I have kept inside my drive. So job admin, okay, this is the same data I have uploaded here inside my drive. That's why I'm connecting my drive to my collab so that I can access this file. Okay, and this is my projects folder. All the artifacts I'll be generating, like the model. Okay, this is the model chatbot model. After training, we'll get this model, and this two model will be also get like this two file classes speaker and what we get. Okay, this is the thing. So let's connect. I've already connected. Now let's check my directory. See, I'm inside the projects folder. Okay, so this is the projects folder I'm inside right now. So first of all, I'll be reading my data, job input data. I'll be inputting some of the necessary library, like I'll be using NLP, TensorFlow. Okay, this TensorFlow I'll be using, Keras I'll be using for the model creation. I think if you know basics of deep learning, so I think you'll be getting the idea how to create a neural network. Here I'll be creating a small neural network, and on top of that, I'll be training my model. So now, first of all, I need to do the text pre-processing. Inside text pre-processing, what I need to do. Okay. So inside the text, I think we have seen. If I show you, let me open another notebook. You can see full chat, so I can explain like I can break into it actually. First of all, I need to extract the words, all unique words, then classes, all the classes, and all the documents, okay, in this text, okay. And these are the things I need to ignore. Like if there is an exclamation mark or question mark, I need to ignore this one. Okay. So for understanding that, you need to see this notebook. So see, first of all, what I'm doing. So this is the intent you have. What is the intent? Intent is suppose if I show you. See, after reading your data, this is the data you are reading. This is the data you are reading. This is the data. Okay, this is the raw data. Here I'm printing intent. Inside intent we have pattern and we have responses. Okay, and we have tags. Okay. Now after reading that, what I will do, I will first of all extract the intent. Okay, extract the intent. So inside intent, what we have? If I show you inside intent, I have tags, pattern, responses. Okay. So see, tags, pattern, and responses, and all the data I'm getting. Then inside that, I just need the patterns. Okay, patterns means this is your like input data. Okay, I just want to fetch this data. So for that's why I'm giving this key. I think if you know dictionary in Python, so we call it a key and we call it a value. Okay, key values. So I am calling this pattern key. So it will give me all the keys. Okay, all the keys. See, I'm getting all the keys. Okay, hi there. See, hi there. How are you? Is there anyone? Okay, hello, hey, hola, good day. See, I'm getting all the keys. Then what I'm doing, after actually extracting the keys, okay, what I'm doing, I'm trying to tokenize that. I'm trying to tokenize this pattern. So, okay, tokenization means, see, this is a sentence, but I want to do what tokenization, because I told you why I need to do the tokenization. Because before feeding my data to the model, I need to first of all tokenize, like I need to break into the words. that word I will be converting to the numbers. Then I will be passing to my model. Okay, so that's why I'm doing the tokenization. So see, high is separate now. First of all, it was high there. Now high is separate. Then there is separate. See, that's why I'm doing the word tokenization. So one of the things I've explained in my previous notebook, I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm doing the text preprocessing. Okay, because I told you what is the NLP pipeline you need to follow on this. Okay, so first of all, we need to apply text data acquisition. So we have already the data. After data, we have to do the text preprocessing. We are doing the text preprocessing right now. Okay, but all the preprocessing you don't have to follow because I told you it depends upon your problem statement. But here, all the preprocessing step I will be following. This is required only for chat work. Okay, so see, I'm doing the text. Tokenization. So this is the tokenization I'm doing, and this is the documents. Okay, how I'm getting the documents? So see, here I'm adding my documents. Okay, so documents wise, this is W. W is my text. Okay, W is my text. All the my words, unique words, and intent.tags. Okay, tags means this is the tags I'm fetching. Okay, so this is the tags I'm fetching. Tags means greeting, goodbye, thanks, no answer, name. Okay, because that should be our level. So these two things I am combining in a tuple. See, this is the tuple, and this tuple I am adding in a list. Okay, so what is the documents? So here I actually, if you see, I have created an empty list. Okay, so inside that I am saving as a tuple. Okay, every tuple, every word, and their actually respective levels I mean storing. See, hi there is greeting. If I see hi there is greeting. Okay, then how are you? What it will be? It will be greeting. How are you? It will be greeting. That's why I'm separating all the text. Okay, all the text. If you see, then see you again later. Goodbye. So that should be goodbye tags. I think. Yeah, goodbye. See you again. See you later. Okay, see. That's actually I'm separating all the text. Okay, all the text I'm separating inside documents. Now what I need to do? I need to take all the classes then. So how I can take the classes then? Here I am again adding a if statement. If tag is not in classes, okay, I'm adding tags inside the classes, and that classes I'm printing here. Now what I have my let me show you that. Yeah, I have my all the unique words. If I tell you here, I have my all the unique words. I have all the classes. I have all the documents. Documents means suppose your input and your output, and ignore word. Ignore word I will be using. I will be ignoring this kind of word. Okay. So now let's show you. Yeah, here. After that, after getting the class, I'm doing the lematizer. I'm including the lematizer. Because why I need lematizer? Because there should be some words, suppose playing, plays. Okay, I need to bring it to the root form. So that's why I need this word lematizer. This lematizer I'm here passing, and ignore word. I'm ignoring this word, and see now. I mean, what I got here, so words, these words. See, these words I got. All the words I got, I'm passing inside my lematizer. It is like giving as a root form. See, all the root form I'm getting. Then I'm sorting that. Okay, after sorting, you can see these are my final words. Okay, I'm getting my final words. Now, if I print that classes, okay, so see, number of classes I have 53. Okay. Sorry, number of documents I have 53. If you see here, actually I had 53 records. Okay, if you see, if you just count all the input records, I had 53 records. Okay, 53 records and 7 classes like goodbye, greeting, name, options, South African input tags. Okay, then unique lemmatized words. Okay, that means how many number of unique words I had in this data. Only unique words. So I had around 51 unique words. Okay, this thing I need to figure out. Then what I need to do, I need to save my lemmatized words. So this is the words I need to save. This is my lemmatized word. I need to save because I just want to use that during my prediction. Okay, that's why I'm saving that information. And I also need to save my classes then. Okay, so what are my classes then? Here I got. If I show you the classes, then I think I got some here. This is the class. All the classes then like goodbye, greeting, name, everything I'm saving. Okay, in the pickle format. I think you know what is pickle. Pickle is the pickle saved as a binary format, so that after later on you can use and unpickle it and you can use that. Then see after data preprocessing, our preprocessing is done, lemmatization and tokenization is done. Now I need to convert this word to numbers. Okay, that's why I'm doing the feature engineering. That means text representation. So inside text representation, what I'm doing, I'm just simply doing the one-hot encoding. This is the one-hot encoding, like you can say, code I have written here. So if you just pass your data here, like your text data here, what it will return? It will return actually kinds of this text. I'll show you. Yeah. So if I run it one by one, so let me run it. Yeah. So see, now what you will get if I now print that 10x here. Okay. 10x. See now my all text data has been converted to the number. Okay, and simultaneously I need to also convert my pen y to the number. So for that, let me show you. My pen y. See, it has been also converted to the number. Okay, it is representing your like this thing. Your greeting, goodbye, thanks, you answered, name, then options, South African go, South African banks. Okay, and your X, that means this is actually representing your that one. Your hi there, how are you? Is there anyone? Hey, hola, this thing. Okay, you have done text representation here. You can use any of the thing, whatever things I have discussed till now. You can use bag of words, you can use n-grams, you can use TF-IDF, you can use one-hot encoding. But for this demonstration purpose, I have shown one-hot encoding because it is like easy. Okay, so this is the text representation right now I have. If you want to understand one-hot encoding, just you need to go through a lecture. I will share some of the resources. Then you will get the idea like how you are getting this kind of output. Okay, so after that I am creating a model because I have done the feature engineering. Now my next pipeline was I need to create a model. So this is the simple neural network I am building. Around 128 neurons I am giving, and this is my input size, and the activation function I was taking value, and dropout layer I was adding. Dropout means like you want to add some regularization. Okay, regularization means your model will be overfitted. Okay, then this is the last layer, and this is the last layer I am using softmax function. Okay, so if I now run it, so it will make my neural network. Then I'm using my gradient descent, stochastic gradient descent. I was using. Okay, this is my optimizer, and the loss function was I was using categorical cross entropy, and metrics was I was using accuracy metrics. Okay, if I run it, I need to compile my model with this my gradient descent and my loss function. Okay. Now I need to fit my model. So this is my model objects. Here I was defined my model objects. So I need to fit with like my chain data. This is my chain data. This is my chain Y. Okay, that means this is my input features. This is my output features. Okay, input feature means this is the input features. Like all the hi, hello there, hi, how are you? All the patterns. Patterns should be your input features, and output features should be all the tags. Okay. Response you don't have to keep right now. Response you will be keeping whenever you will do the prediction. Okay. Only just remember your pattern should be input, tag should be your you can say label. Okay, this is the thing. Then this is then what you need to do. You need to fit your model. Here I am giving my training data. Number epochs wise I am giving 250 epochs. Then I am giving my validation set. Validation set here I have kept my validation set. If I show you, so here my validation set. I am giving the same training test as my validation, but you can use your own data here. Then after that, I am defining my batch size and barbus is equal to 1. Okay, barbus is equal to 1 means you want to see the log here. Okay, like it will show you the log. Now if I just hit enter, so now you will see it will start training my model. Okay, see, just training my model and see you can see the accuracy, validation accuracy, validation loss, training loss. See, you can also evaluate in a runtime. Okay, how your model is performing. And this is the current epochs it is going. Okay, among 250 epochs, it has been trained 246, 50. Okay, now training is done. Let's see. Yeah. Now, if you want to see as a graph, so you can write this code, history plot. So you can observe like how your model is performing. See, this is your training loss. This is your validation loss. They are almost decreasing close and to 0 only. And if you see, this is your accuracy. They are approaching to 1. Okay. So that means your model is like performing good because it's a like simple data set I have taken. It's simple data set I have taken, and you can see the less number of records I have taken. That's why your model is performing good. After that, you have to save your model. Okay, so this is the code for that. Model.save chatbot.model h5. Okay, then you have to pass that. It will save your model. Now, if you want to see, so these are the log it will generate. Your class pickle, word pickle, and chatbot model. These 3 things you need for creating the web application. So these 3 things actually I am downloading from here, and I am creating a you can say Python project file. Okay, in my base code. Here actually, if you see, I pasted here only word pickle, class pickle, and my model.h5. See, chatbot model.h5. Okay, so this thing I'm keeping, and I'm creating one file called preprocessor.py. So what is this preprocessor.py will do? The thing we have done till now, like if you give any text, okay, if you give any text raw input, like you have given hi there. So from the hi there itself, how it will convert to the text? I mean, how it will convert to the number? Every text preprocessing you have done till now. Okay, so the same thing I'm writing here. If you see the code, I'm writing the same thing here. Like I'm changing the sentence, I'm doing this text representation, that is feature engineering, and I'm predicting my class. Okay, this is my predict function, and I'm getting the response. Okay, this response I'm getting from my chatbot, and inside app.py, I've created 2 routes. If you know the flags a little bit, so thus you can clear the route. Okay, so in the first route, I'm you can say launching my index.html. Inside index.html, I've created a single HTML page. Okay, I think you saw like welcome to chatbot. There is a box and there is a button. So this is the HTML. Okay, it is just rendering that, and after that, after that, this is another route. Whenever you are clicking on the button, so it is sending as a chatbot request. Okay, chatbot request. It is reading the question whenever you are typing the question. So if I run this again, so whenever you are typing the question, so it is just trying to fetch the text from the question. It's taking the question. It is sending to the chatbot response. Okay, if I open the chatbot response, processor, it will predict the classes. Predict classes, what it will do? It will try to first of all pre-process your data, apply the feature engineering, give the output. Okay, then it will get the response. Okay, you will get the response, and this response you will send to your application. Okay, and this is the response I am sending. Okay, to my content. Like if I give hi, it is giving hello. Okay, that hello I am printing to my web application. Okay, so that's how actually you can create this kind of web application using. Okay, and you can host it to any kinds of cloud platform. But the main thing is like to training the chatbot. Okay, this is the main logic. I think first of all you will get confused for sure, because if you don't have any deep learning understanding, and if you don't have any, you can say data understanding, data science understanding. So first of all you will get confused for sure. But what I will recommend after this session, just try to open up the data, try to see the pattern, like how I'm creating the data. Okay, then try to open the notebook. Try to open the notebook and see what are the stages I'm doing. Okay, how I'm reading the data, how I'm separating this pattern, how I'm separating the stacks. Okay, because at the end it's a Python code only. There is no thing I can explain. Okay, only you can see that, you can explore, you can run the code, you can observe the output. That is the thing. That is totally fall into data pre-processing step, data analysis step. Okay, I'm considering you all are familiar with the Python programming. If you know the Python programming, you will get this code very easily. Okay, the major thing I have discussed is data pattern, and this is the input, this is the output. Okay, whenever you have trained your model, download your model. This is the file preprocess.py in write. The same file you can use for other projects also. And this is the another file in write for app.py. Inside app.py, you need to create 2 routes. One is like your index route, one is like your prediction route. Okay, so if I just open my chatbot here, once again, just open. Yeah. See. So whenever I'm clicking on that, so it is just reading my first route. So first route giving the index.html. So this is my index.html. So if I give anything like hi, if I send anything, so what it will do? It will give in the second route. Okay, second route is /chat. Okay, let me show you. See, hey you. Okay. So yeah, that's actually you need to follow. And the same code you can use. Same code you can use if you are creating some kinds of chatbot. The main thing is to you need to change the data, change the data set, change a new model with this notebook. Okay, train a new model. Save your model inside your Google Drive. Download them. Like paste inside. Okay, load it. Whenever user is giving any kinds of data, we process it. Whatever you have done, you're doing training. The same thing you need to done in your prediction also. The prediction you will get, just give the response to the app.py. App.py it will take as a response, and you have to show it inside your content. That means what say AD. Okay. So this is actually intent. You can say simple chatbot you can create, and other file you can see here requirement.txt. So what are the requirements I am using? What are the libraries I am using? I have added here. Suppose I am using NLP, NumPy, TensorFlow, class, then Unicorn. Okay. So you have to install that. So for installing, what you need to do? First of all, you need to clear that. After cloning this repo, I have already uploaded it to my GitHub. So let me show you if I open my GitHub. Repository. This is my GitHub. I'm sending the link. You can follow me on GitHub also. So that this is the repository section. So here a simple deep learning chatbot. Just what you need to do, you need to download this as a zip file. Okay. After downloading, you need to unzip it and you will get this other file. Then what you need to do, you need to create a virtual environment. Okay. Virtual environment, then you need to install. Like you need to install -r requirement.txt file. Okay. Requirement.txt file, it will install all the requirements inside your environment. Then what you need to do, you need to run this app.py. Okay, simply app.py. So app.py will start your application on localhost. Okay, this is the localhost which has started. Then yeah, your job is done. Okay, but the task is to you need to train your own model with your own data. Okay, this is my data. You can use all this your data. Train your model. Get the you can say model. Just paste your model here and do the prediction. Okay, so that's it actually. This is the actually simple chatbot you can say. And if you want to create, you can say high-level chatbot like more powerful chatbot, so you can follow this one. Again, this. So again, this is a website. They have the already transformer model and all. See, this is the Agriplus. So if I click on the model, see all the thing, whatever you want to do. Suppose you want to do text, image classification, image segmentation, okay, and then token classification, that means text classification. We have audio classification, question answering, okay. Then some common NLP tasks they have given. Okay, if you want to do chatbot, okay, so we have chatbot also. So you just search here chatbot. Chatbot arguments. See, this is the starter code they have given. Okay, this is the starter code they have given. You have to copy. Otherwise, you can hit like how you to code and all. Okay. Otherwise, they have their API here. See, if I send that, hey, my name is Sevan. How are you? See, I'm doing fine. Okay, they have their hosted application. Okay. So So you can use any of them, but this model will be very heavy. Okay, like it will take time, and you need a better machine for that. So at least just try with this deep learning process, whatever I have showed with you, like this simple chatbot, like using deep learning. You can tweak this architecture also. You can use a little bit, complex architecture, so that your model can learn very, deeply, okay, about your data. So yeah, this was like all about the chatbot creation, and we have converted to the API also. Now this last thing is like deployment. Okay, how to deploy this kinds of application to the cloud platform. Okay, so for that I will be using Heroku. So Heroku I will be logging first of all. Heroku login. So I will just show you one deployment just, okay, so that you will get the idea. So this application I will be deploying. This is the question pair projects. Okay, I have created. And this projects actually also I have shared inside the Google Drive. I will share the link with you. So let me share the link. Yeah, this is the projects community session. Okay, the link. Yeah, I have shared inside the chat. So you can open. Just can you please let me know, are you able to open or not?
Yes,
Iran, can you? Okay. So you can share all the material in your group, okay, so that they can verify.
Okay.
I
Okay,
think
Bappy.
this session is recorded, right? You are
Yeah.
recording.
yes.
Okay. So you can create an account on Heroku. Heroku is a cloud platform, so you can host any kinds of application here. So I will create one app. Name it like suppose NLP app. NLP app. This is the name. You need to give a unique name always. Create app. And these are some commands you need to run. So I will take my Anaconda prompt. Okay. And I will copy one by one. First of all, I need to log in with Heroku. But before that, you need to install Git and Heroku, okay, in your system. So they have given this download installation Heroku CLI. Okay, you can follow that one. Otherwise, just search on YouTube how to install Git and Heroku. Okay, so you'll get the idea. So I have already installed in my system. So I will just do the login operation, Heroku login. Okay, it has been logging. Okay, now what I will do, I will take the second command. Edit I have done. Otherwise, you can do edit also, but I have also done the edit. How you will get this? You should have this dot git. Okay, I think if you know this git GitHub, So first of all, you need to initialize the key. Okay, if it is present, then you don't have to run this command. Okay, this is the command. Yeah, you don't have to run this command. Directly you can copy this one. Then it will get on. You need to connect your okay, it has been connected. Now you need to hit add. So now you need to do the commit. Now hit push to master. Okay, it will push all of your code to the Heroku platform and it will give you a URL. Okay, that URL you can share and on this URL your code will be running. Okay, see, it is uploading. See. And whatever things I had installed here, the requirement txt, it will install everything. Okay, in your Heroku, see, it will install everything. Yes, ma'am. But the Heroku problem is like if you're not giving enterprise version, so it won't be like you upload more than 600 MB. Okay. So now see my total project size is 220 MB. So now I'm able to host it. Okay. So now this is the URL. Your project is running. So if I open the URL right now. It's a simple stream web app updated. So this is the duplicate question pairs. Actually, if you give similar kinds of question like what is your send question if I pass here. Okay. So it will say duplicate. Okay. Now my name is how are you? How are you? If I get that, the question is like different, so it will say not duplicate. Okay. This is the simple application. Now if I share with you that application, so you can also access my application. Okay. So that's why I call it deployment. Can you please confirm? Are you able to open this application now? Anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
We can.
Okay. So I need to know, like, got to know like, what is required. Okay. So after creating my model, after doing the evaluation, I need to do the deployment. Okay. So now I have my app on the production. Okay. Like people are using my application. Okay. Now if you are not getting good response, so I will be monitoring that application and I will get to know, yeah, this is not performing. So what I will do, I will again retain my model, again generating a model, I will again post it. Okay. Again, I will see like people are how they are using that model. Okay. So that's actually you need to track each and everything. Okay. So this is the whole NLP pipeline, basic NLP to NLP pipeline, and some of the examples I have tried to show you. I'm not sure I'm getting or not, but at least if you just go through, like if you just deep dive into like some of the topics in NLP, so whatever things I have discussed, okay, you will get each and everything. Okay, now it might be like you are thinking like it might be like a little bit fancy, a little bit hard, but trust me, if you just deep dive into NLP sector, I mean, a little bit some amount of concept, so you will get the idea. Okay, so now we have done like so now we have, I think all have done. Then I just want to share with you some of the resources. Okay, you can follow. You can even when I was exploring, okay, I used to also refer. Okay, so I will give you some of the resources. If you want to deep dive more, and if you want to learn more, I mean, much about the NLP. Okay, so let me show you. So see, some of the resources you can follow my channel. So this is my channel link, because here I try to upload like AI related topics only. Okay. Here I'm studying to NLP playlist. Okay, I'll be studying. So you can follow my channel. And there is another channel called Krish Naik. Okay, Krish Naik NLP. There is a NLP live session. Okay, so you can follow his channel, and it's like a very good explanation. All the theory I have like showed you here. You will be getting each and everything in a detailed way. Okay, he has explained like what is like this LSTM, what is this you can say RNN. Okay, what is this what to make, what is this TF-IDM, what is this Ngram, what is this bag of words. Okay, each and everything you will get. Okay, the detailed explanation. Then you can follow I need on NLP courses. If you want to go with the paid courses, so you can take one of the courses from here. Otherwise, free resources are fine. Okay, just try it free resources, and if you're willing to buy any kinds of paid courses, so you can say IDEON.ai. Okay, so they have launched some of the deep learning courses like natural language processing with the computer vision, and you can say advanced deep learning. Okay, so you can take that one. Otherwise, if you were willing to follow any kinds of books, okay, on this NLP, so you can follow this practical natural language processing. This is a great book. Even I referred this book also. And if you want to learn like more about transformer, okay, so there is another book, natural language processing with transformer. Okay, these two books. And here at the end of this book, okay, you will get some of the projects like chatbot and question answering system. Okay, what are the tasks I have shown you here? Okay, what are the tasks I have shown you? Each and every project you will be getting. So the best would be if you just manage these two books, okay, and just try to grow with their resources. So you will get at least like broad idea of this NLP field, and at least you will be able to create any kinds of projects. Okay, so that should be like my request. Okay, from my side, just try to explore as much as you can. Okay, and whenever you get time, just refer this session again. Okay, because now the live session actually probably you won't be getting some of the concept, but if you are doing it like again, okay, because recording should be there, and I think you will be uploading this recording to your group, right? Most probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. Otherwise, you can give me. I will. I mean, upload it to my YouTube channel, and I will share with you. Okay, so that
we will
you can
share
follow.
you also. That should be
Yes. So that would be good. You can give me that recording. I will share on the YouTube link, YouTube link. Okay, so you can refer that one anytime. And if you are having any issue, okay, just connect with me. I think you know my LinkedIn profile. If you don't know, I will show you. Any related query, suppose you are having any issue during creating your projects, okay, you can connect with me. I will happy to help you. Okay. So this is my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, you can connect with me here. And I have shared my YouTube also, GitHub also, okay, so you can connect with me everywhere, okay, and just raise your issue. So I'm stop sharing my screen. So now, if you have any question, so you can ask me. Otherwise, session is end. Okay, we can leave.
Yeah. Hi, Bappy. I have just one question.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
in terms of NLP, these projects maintenance on going forward. So as you said, like we have to check the data and how they respond and retrain the models and go forward, right? So in that case, as for your experience, like you have now experience regarding NLP, so is there any advices that you can give to us, like when it's dealing with data drifting and all?
So see, if you are like fresher, like if you are starting, so at least just try to go with whatever I have shown. Like just take a Jupyter notebook or Google Colab, try to input the data, try to analyze the data, see the output, observe the output, try to use Heroku for the deployment. Okay, so that's all. Just try to do. Then whenever you will be getting some of the experience, like now whenever you will be understanding, like my model is not performing well in the cloud. Okay. So then actually you can do the retraining approach and all. Okay, it would become as your experience go. Okay, but initially you can't do that ever. Okay, so the better would be just try to start at least working because see, if you are working with a team, so everybody will be assigned in a new task. Suppose someone would be doing the data processing, someone will be doing the data collection, someone will be doing the feature engineering, someone will do the model evaluation. Okay, so that's actually you need to differentiate the task. Okay, so that's why actually you need to work as a teamwork. Okay, suppose I think you want to build a chatbot for Sri Lanka, right? So here actually just create a team, assign the task, like someone will collect the data, someone will annotate the data, someone will build a model, someone will analyze the data. That's how you just need to build a team. But before that, you need to explore from your side. You need to know all these stages, okay, before performing any kinds of tasks. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
So anyone has any questions, so you can ask me. Otherwise, we can leave. Iran, I think is fine.
Yeah. Thank you, Bappy, for
And-
your amazing lecture.
Yeah.
So I think
how was the session? How was the session?
it was amazing. I think can any participant share their thoughts?
Hi, I'm Sandhani. Actually, from the beginning itself, it was a great session. Like you gave us the knowledge about theory as well as the hands-on experience. Like end-to-end project was very helpful for us. Like for the project that we are going to do in Omdena. So I really like to thank you for that your time and effort to give for us.
Yes. Yes. So yes, guys. So thank you so much for joining the session, and like in future, we'll be like to doing this kind of session. Okay. Just try to explore as much as you can. Okay. So unless and until you are not doing exploring from your side, so it's hard to actually crack these kinds of concepts. Okay. And connect with me anytime. Okay. If you have any issue, I would be happy to help you. Okay. So I think Hiram, so we should close the session. Okay.
Bappy, thank you very much for your time and effort.
If interrupting.
Yeah.
So maybe especially thanks to conducting session. Even though it's very long, it's very informative.
Yes. I just shared as much as knowledge like you can say. I could have like finished within 1 hour, but I thought like let's give the entire understanding. Like at least you get the high level overview. Okay. See, so many terms you have like seen in this session. Okay.
Yeah.
Now try to explore from your side. Like this is the thing I have explained. You don't know. Just start thinking about it. Okay. Learn it. That's how actually you'll be learning. But whatever things while inside NLP, I have like given each and everything. Okay, to you. Now just explain.
Because some participants, many participants have informed us that in Sri Lanka we are having frequent power cuts, so we have lesser connection. So they actually info and send let's say apologies to not attending the session.
No, it's fine because I know like long session will be like very fatiguing for everyone. So if you have questions, so you will be joining. Okay. So so thank you so much guys for joining this session. Okay, and I will see you in the next session. Okay, probably. So let's bye then.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Bappy. So we'll let you know if there are any other
Yes.
sessions to be covered.